taking such the 3-2 dude taking such a victory lap. He's acting like he just won the Super Bowl.
I had to put your face on just for that. Now listen.
My God.
Listen, guys. This is for everyone who's ever had a dream. Listen. If you've ever had a dream, they will try to take it from you. They will do everything in their power to stop you from reaching what your goal is. You need to protect that. That dream is sacred. Martin had a dream at one point.
Why did you bring up Martin Luther King?
And look at us now. So listen, anyone who tries to stop you from what you know is your God-given ability, fuck them. And that's from me. So go get what you're worth, go take what you're worth, and don't let anyone tell you anything else. Chase your dream. And that's all I got to say on that, Johnny. That's all I got to say.
Bears on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bears.
Because I chased my dream this week and I got that 3-2 dub. Welcome to another episode of Couch Coach the Podcast, featuring an all-star staff of the best to never do it. Without a couch, you're just a coach. Without a coach, it's just a couch. With both, you're one of us. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you got some shit to say, leave a comment. Now for your first couch coach, we have the one and only Mr. 500, Mr. Bountiful Harvest. If the Knicks keep winning, albeit not much lately, you might see him at your local bodega. And rumor has it, he doesn't live in a gated community, but his community does have a gate. He's a man of many names, but you can call him Johnny.
This episode goes out to Girl Joe Burrow. Let's get it.
Crazy. And for your last couch coach, we have yours truly, founder of Omnipresence Productions, co-founder of the Couch Coach Pod. Some call me Akira, some call me Commissioner, but you can call me Kuji. Now, kicking off the show with a bang, with a level of unprecedented foresight. In the segment where shots in the dark become game winners, we won't call ourselves prophets, but if you do, we won't argue with you. It's time for Sportstradamus. And now we don't have the need, Johnny, to go over any of the old ones because they're so far out that there's none are true, none are false yet. We're going to go one for one again. I'm going to kick it off with my first one. There's a theme this week with mine. But I was sitting back. I was thinking about our predictions from last week from the games. There was a little debate that we had. You might remember it. Luka, Joker, who would you rather have? Well, here's what I'm going to stamp right now. The Los Angeles Lakers will represent the Western Conference in the NBA Finals this year. Stamp it. Luka, LeBron, unstoppable.
Yeah, that's a good one. Look, I had to eat some crow last week. I mean, not have I necessarily, mind you, I do like Luka better as the player. And I think maybe long term he's the better player. But the argument we were having is right now who's better. And I was saying I think it's Jokic.
I don't know. Now. I'd rather have.
I did not say anything about long term. I didn't say anything about anything with that. Just said I think he's right now the better player. And I still don't necessarily disagree with that. But he sure didn't look like it in the last game when they played each other.
Nah, he went crazy.
But my first one. This is kind of building on one I had last week a little bit, but not a ton. But it's Sixers related.
Oh boy.
I think there's been a lot going around about what the Sixers are going to do for the rest of the season, and it's been floated that Joel Embiid might just sit the rest of the season out, get a surgery that he needs, and let them tank.
Yep.
And I think he's going to do it. Because if there's one thing we know about Joel Embiid, it's that he's always going to take the opportunity to sit out. So I'm calling it Joel Embiid is going to get the season-ending surgery and
Oh my god.
allow the Sixers to tank.
That's hilarious. I mean, not that he's hurt, but street clothes, man. Street clothes. They got nicknames. My second prediction, Johnny, it's also Lakers related. I've been seeing a lot of rumors.
Is it this game in the next 1 hour related? Because that's what I have. I have one for this next game.
Nope. But we do need to get to our predictions before that game gets too far underway.
All right.
Also, one of us has to keep an eye on that game. Probably won't be me, so you might have to.
I've got TNT open right here. I got it going.
But Dwight Howard, there's been speculation about him looking to get re-signed. He's been talking to some players that he's friends with. And here's what I believe. Matter of fact, here's what I know. Dwight Howard will be on a playoff team this year. And it's going to be the Lakers.
That'd be fun. Running back with Dwight. Hell, get JaVale McGee to come out,
all
too.
they need.
Get them both. Remember when JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard helped lead the Lakers to a championship? That was great.
Rajon Rondo.
Rondo?
Go
Man,
hit
that was
him
a
up.
fun year.
Bubble.
Yeah, why not? Get them all back. Yeah. That was a fun season. All right. For my Lakers prediction for the next one.
Yep.
Just to let everyone know, I'm not a Luka hater. I love Luka. and in that vein, I'm predicting Luka's going to drop 45 plus in his revenge game tonight against Dallas. I wish he could have walked into the Mavs arena to do this, but he'll have to settle with doing it at Crypto.com arena. I really almost said Staples Center. It should be Staples Center, but
it should be.
It's Crypto.com arena. He'll have to settle doing it in LA, but I am predicting that he will get his. He will, especially that it seems like he's shaken out of the funk that he was in that Nuggets game. I think he's going to come out and get his. So I'm predicting 45 plus points for Luka. And I think that LeBron is going to do everything in his power to help him get that, because I know LeBron is petty, just like Luka.
Yeah, no, I can get behind that. Kind of sucks AD's not playing. But can't say we didn't see that coming.
It would be more fun if AD was playing, but it doesn't change anything. This is the real question is, will Nico Harrison be within eyesight of the court, or will they have him hidden behind multiple armed guards because Luka might send the Slovenian mafia after him? I don't know if that exists, but
allegedly.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything about the Slovenian mob presence in Los Angeles, but anything's possible.
Now for my third prediction. Now I want to point out this jersey, the one and only Donnie Spider Mitchell. So it's representative of a couple different things. So this last one is Jazz themed, but the representation is this. This is the last time as a Jazz fan I was able to feel joy in my life. And also this is the dude that averaged 30 points against the Knicks in 9 games with the Cavs, but neither here nor there. My third prediction, Keontae George of the Utah Jazz will carry the Jazz to an upset win at home against the Timberwolves on Friday, and he's going to score 25 plus. Currently, Timberwolves are 71.2% favorites to win the game. So, Keontae George, 25 plus, upset win Friday, Timberwolves going down.
Man, that's fun. Congrats to the Timberwolves for their overtime victory against the Thunder last night. That was nuts. Yeah. I just saw an interview with Chris Finch today where he said he was this close to pulling the starters. And he was like, when they were down 19 with like 10 minutes left in the fourth or something, he was like, I might just pull them. Like, it's OKC. And he was like, I guess I'll let them do a couple more plays before I pull them. And he was like, and then just like, and what, 3 defensive stop, like back. And they went on to pull it off in OT. So good job.
The
So I
biggest
thought that was
comeback in
fun.
Timberwolves history.
Yeah, so that's exciting. We all love Ant. I wish he had some guys that fit better around him. I love Julius, but it's not a. He's very ball dominant. He's not a guy that pairs well with someone like Anthony Edwards. So, you know who paired well with him?
Cat.
Karl Anthony Towns. Paired really well with Anthony Edwards.
The dude they already had.
Yeah, floor spacing, big man who's really strong and play both sides of the ball. Yeah, that sounded like probably a really good pairing for him.
Man.
But
I wonder how they
get
someone like
I'll
that.
I'll take him. I'm happy with Cat. Cat's been great. All right, here's my last one. This is my long-term one.
Yep.
I just think it's very Stearnsian what's happening right now. Very, very Stearnsian. And I'm saying that as in the David Stearns NBA I'm seeing right now.
Yep.
I think history is going to repeat itself, my friend. Maybe not to a super crazy extent. Not to the exact extent. But I think Wemby's going to return fine next season. He's going to start up next season completely fine. He's going to be. This will be a one-off Brandon Ingram blood clot, not a chronic Chris Bosh and career-ending blood clot. And I think when he walks out onto that court, he's going to be walking out onto that court next to a top 3 pick. I'm not saying it's going to be number 1. I'm not going to go there because even if they end up in the top 4 lottery, that's still only a 18% chance that they get it.
Right.
But or like when I say top 4, I'd be like you finish in the top 4 and then or in the bottom 4, and then like from there you still don't even have a 25% chance to get it. It's like you gotta, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a whole thing. It's very dumb, but I think that they will. I think it'll be a very Tim Duncan. The Admiral gets injured for a season. The Spurs bottom out, come back with Tim Duncan, and then the new era of the Spurs is born. So I think it'll be something like that. And this is a very top-heavy draft. So even if you don't get Cooper Flag, there are a lot of options to pair with Wemby. So I think it's gonna work out great for him. That they don't necessarily have to bottom out to Pelicans level terrible to still walk away with a top 3 pick, especially because they have the Hawks first rounder as well. So I think just statistics wise, I think they're going to come out of it. It's very Stearnsian to me. I'm not saying they're doing anything, just saying that
it pops out for the year 2. Somebody said, hey, y'all two just take a seat, do what you got to do. We'll come back next year.
I think Pop might be done coaching. I think he's still going to be part of the organization. Yeah, I think he'll still be part of it. He'll still be in the building, but I think he might just be like, life has just fucking beat the shit out of Greg Popovich for like 5 years. Like it has been unrelenting to him. So I think he needs to take a step, like for his health, he needs to take a step back.
Right.
That, he's got good people on the staff. There are a lot of options.
Their next coach is already on the staff?
Even though I'm not a big fan of promoting from within, I think they still have Tim Duncan there. Do they still have Becky Hammond there? They have some good options.
Becky Hammond would be my first look.
Yeah. They have some good options.
They're an organization
smart people.
That historically, they do things before any other team does. Right? So it would transcend the game as we know it. I mean, the first female head coach in the league.
Well, and it would be really cool, too, especially at a time where the WNBA is surging.
At its peak.
To newfound popularity, yeah. That, speaking of which, are we going to talk about, is there a WNBA story in our instant replay?
There isn't, but is it about,
Diana
Taurasi?
Diana Taurasi, yeah.
Retired.
Salute to absolute legend in her 40s. It's done. The WNBA LeBron.
A GOAT.
Oh my God.
I mean, she's been there almost as long as the league's existed.
Yeah. She wanted to stick around for one more year. just to see Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese show up.
Well, that
and then she was like, "All right, I'm done now."
You got to get the Olympics too. That gold last year,
of course. Yeah. So shout out, Diana Taurasi, Hall of Famer, legend, Mount Rushmore. Very cool. And now she got plenty of time to do her show with Sue Bird during the college playoffs now. Doesn't have to interfere with any type of WNBA commitments.
Yeah. No, you got me mad actually now because I did 2 fantasy league drafts for WNBA and I didn't get Caitlin Clark in any of them. I was pissed.
I mean, she must go number 1.
It's the only reason I even.
If not,
she went number 1 last year.
Yeah. Number 1 last year is crazy.
She never played a game, bro.
Number 1 this year.
Nah, he did it on.
Yeah, number 1 last year. I mean, I get why people would do it because they don't know people, but I mean, number 1 should be Asia Wilson every time, right? If you're stat stuffer. I mean, if you know how fantasy basketball works. Fantasy
basketball, literally, it's the big men and big women, the rebounders, shot blockers. Yeah, those are the point getters.
You want stat stuffers. You want people that fill out a full stat sheet. Now, mind you, Caitlin Clark off assists alone would still be a top 10 pick.
Nah, hold up.
If you're playing basketball fantasy,
actually, you ducking me because you didn't. I told you to join them leagues. Did you join?
Oh, and I've told you before that I didn't want to play fantasy basketball this year.
Bruh.
I told you I didn't want to play it.
Nah, it's better you did.
If it was like a bunch of our friends, it wasn't just you, maybe I would. But I'm gonna join it like a rando league with a bunch of people I don't know.
I'm worth at least 3 friends. Damn.
You are, yeah, but that's still a rando league with only 3 friends in it. I'm good, man.
Dog, no, I'm actually mad.
I like to have the group chat with all the people in there, with all the people in the league, and I know them all.
No, I'm mad though. I didn't realize WNBA doesn't start for another 3 months, so I'm gonna have to redraft.
Yeah, it's a ways out. It's a ways out. It doesn't start till the end of the.
There's no rookies either.
I was just say
I was like, "Where's Juju Watkins?" I was like,
"You have to wait till the women's college season is over." Yeah.
But anyway, check this out, Johnny.
Yeah, so how does that work? Yeah, so when you do a WNBA fantasy draft, it's like
you have to wait till after that draft.
Or you know what? You have to wait. There's a very small window.
You know what I'm
hoping?
You can
get Juju Watkins.
I'm hoping they all get listed as free agents, and I can go claim them all.
That'd be funny. I guarantee most people won't play that league, but yeah, gotta give Paige Beckers, Juju Watkins.
I got Cameron Brink. I got Brink.
Haley Van Lith. You know.
Nah, I took Angel Reese. I took Angel Reese as my first round pick. But anyway, check this out, Johnny.
I mean, that's rebounding.
In this next segment called Talk That Talk, not only do we recap our picks from last week, but one couch coach, just one, will get to talk that talk at least until next week. So with these 5 games last week, Johnny, it was real rough for you, wasn't it? It was rough.
Only because the Knicks lost. Otherwise, it was fine.
Starting off last Thursday, we had the Boston Celtics at the 76ers. Celtics winning 124-104. My theme from this game, Johnny, just live and die by the 3. The Celtics are the historical live and die by the 3 team. Now, unlike most historical teams, they've actually shown the ability to live by the 3 more often than they die by the 3.
Yeah, and the way that they're different from like the D'Antoni Rockets is that they're the best 3-point shooting team ever. It's like they live and die by the 3, but they are the best at shooting the 3. And it's just comical when you just like go down and it's Peyton Pritchard goes up there and is just. Haha, fuck you, I'm going to drop 24 on you this game, and I'm the 8th man off the roster. Like, okay, cool, Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah, no, when I saw that, every single time they shot a 3, I was like, it's going in. It's going in. Like, there was nothing the Sixers could do. Every single 3 they shot, it didn't matter how crazy the shot, didn't matter if he was on balance, off balance, defender in his face, wide open. I saw some 3s from like 30 feet back. It didn't matter. Everybody on that team can hit 3s. But
that team is so good.
To your point,
comical.
Pritchard had 8 3s that game. Jason Tatum also had his 4th career triple-double. When it comes to the Sixers, and I'm feeling a little bit nervous about my prediction last week already, because at that time they lost 6 straight. They've now lost 8 straight, but at that time they lost 8 and 9. And they're 15 games under 500. So I don't know how. They said if they go 25-0 the rest of the year, they're going to have 47 wins, and they still might not make the playoffs. So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
With the 47 wins makes the playoffs in the East. Yeah, it definitely does.
This year, though, you got teams like the Pistons that are surging.
The East is weak, man. Like, there are not many. I mean, there are teams with losing records that are in the play-in right now.
Okay,
so
well, that's beside the point. What are the odds they go 25-0?
No, not. And
No.
The point, you are still correct in your point that the Sixers are completely screwed. Daryl Morey might be out of a job. And,
they might shut down Embiid.
They should. They should shut down Embiid, let him get the surgery, and then trade him. Like, they should, bro. It's not like so you could shut him down. You would have a good pick. You would have a top lottery pick.
Yep.
You would have Jared McCain and Tyrese Maxey. So you have really great foundational pieces to work with. You can move Joel Embiid. You can cut Paul George and just fully reset.
I was going to say, so you trade him and keep George, but you're going to cut George. You're not even going to try to trade George.
Well, you would try to trade him, but I think his value's in the toilet right now. Like, I don't think I think he's full podcast P now. Like, I mean, his value's gone. It's non-existent. So, I mean, you could. Like, I don't know. I don't know what an NBA executive would trade for him, but I don't think much. It's like a big contract and not a great player.
Let's say this. You're the first overall pick this year, and you have a chance to pick Cooper Flagg. Are you going to trade that pick to the Sixers for more picks, for Embiid, and for Paul George?
No.
No? You wouldn't make that deal? So there's no shot they can trade them for a good player in the draft?
No, I think it's just a reset. It's a cultural reset. Like, you could maybe get some future picks for him and like a lower thing, but you just got to get Embiid out of there, man. Like, the team has been coming up short consistently, and what's been the one constant through the entirety of the process? There's been one constant. You moved off everything else in the process, and there's been one thing that has not changed, and it's Joel Embiid. You just got to completely say the process failed. Move off of him and pray to God that you get to keep your job.
They should have kept Ben Simmons.
Like,
damn.
No, I mean,
if you think about it, they ruined him because he was nasty for like 2 years. He was nasty.
No, he was so good his first year that Colin Cowherd said, "LeBron, we're good."
No,
Ben Simmons is here. It's one of the funniest things to look back on, but at the time, it was not a crazy thing to say because he looked so good.
Bro, he was a defensive player of the year candidate. He was insane. I mean, obviously his shot was never that great. It's all these players. The offseason they shoot these threes and these videos, and they look real good. They're improving their shot, but then they don't take them to games. But you could argue that the Sixers, that whole ordeal, ruined his confidence, and that is because was he really? I feel like he became bad after the Sixers already kind of decided upon getting rid of him. Like, I don't think he was bad with the Sixers.
Well, it's just he kept on making like. It was after that, I think it was that Hawks series where Trae Young just clobbered him, and there were moments in the paint where like Ben Simmons had open shots and would kick it out and like wasn't taking them and did not trust himself to take the shots, and it was just like, oh, like you're cooked. Like you are so shaken in your confidence, you won't take these shots that you would make.
Okay,
like,
so there were some
we're
signs.
talking,
There were some
8-footers. Like, yeah, it was like, oh, you're done. And that, I think he doesn't. I don't know Ben Simmons, so I'm not trying to put anything else on him. But I will say that I think the idea is like, it seems like he doesn't really like basketball that much. So
It's crazy. He was so good at basketball. I mean,
but sometimes that happens,
the
man.
next LeBron,
Ricky Williams,
quote unquote. Yeah, true.
Ricky Williams was supposed to be amazing. He just didn't like football that much. He was just like, I'm good, actually.
I don't know if Ben Simmons is out here smoking that hookah tuka, though.
No, but the comparison with notwithstanding, I mean, it's just saying that
you're right.
You can be so talented, and if you don't like it that much, you're not gonna ever ascend.
Right.
You know, to be an upper echelon star, you do have to try.
Right. To that point, though, Johnny, I was actually wrong. I told you it looks different when they have all three of them: Embiid, Maxey, and George. Well, it actually turns out they're 7-7 with all three of them playing. Now, that's not a great record at all. It's terrible, but they're 500, and overall they're under 500. So I was wrong. And on the Celtics, though. In that game, 11 of their first 16 attempts from three, they made 44.4%. They ended up shooting 24 of 54 from three, and they lead the league with an average of 48.3 3-point attempts per game. Now, that's crazy to me if you think about that. Like, that's a 3-point shot a minute.
Yeah.
That's unheard of. Like, they just shoot it. They don't give a fuck.
No, they're crazy, but it works.
Joe Mazzulla is Joe Mazzulla. What do you expect? Like he's
a crazy person, but it works. So I can't poo-poo what the Celtics are doing if it's working. Like,
do you think though? Okay, so they got a chip. They've showed that it can work 1 year. Do you think that this is sustainable, not just for 2 years, like dynasty sustainable? Even as
I don't know if dynasty is sustainable, but. Yeah, like this. Like, if you ask me right now, John, who do you think is going to win the championship this year? I would say it's
you
the Celtics,
have the Celtics over the Nuggets, over OKC, over the Cavs.
Yes, over everyone,
over the Knicks.
I think they're a better team. I love the Knicks, bro, but the Knicks can't beat the Celtics. Like, I want them to really bad, but every time it's not even close. Like, it's not that like the Knicks are losing in close games to them. It's that, like, it's a blowout by the third quarter and it's ugly. It's ugly. And the Knicks are a really good team. Like, and they just cannot stack up against the Celtics. Yeah. No, I think I think when it gets to the playoffs, like, the Celtics have like a deeper roster of people that are used to it, that are ready to, that can up their game or lower their game depending on the situation.
Yep.
I mean, they did last year's playoffs almost entirely without Porzingis. So now you've got Porzingis playing at a really high level, and you know, there's just it would require, I think, some really severe injury bugs or for another team to ascend to a point that I don't foresee them ascending. And I just don't. I mean, like, there are teams that could win it. I'm not saying that nobody could, but if you're just asking me who do I think it's going to be, it's the Celtics right now.
So you're putting your life savings on it. It's the Celtics.
I'm not putting my life savings on it.
I'm saying if you're putting your life savings on it.
If I have to pick, yes. If I'm saying gun to my head, I have to pick. Aliens have a death laser pointed at the world, and I have to pick one team to win the NBA championship. I'm going Iguodala.
You know, it's a crazy concept, because to think that aliens would be so invested in what happens in the basketball world. But yeah, you know I'm putting money on that boy. Donnie's coming for it, man. The only one who might get in his way is Luka. But we got him.
Donnie just got to go through a real gauntlet to do it. Like, I just feel like you have the way the Knicks play in the playoffs, it wears you down. Like, I think realistically, like Donnie's path would be
right.
You hit the Knicks first, and then they wear you down.
With the Knicks, even if you win, you lose, because now you're dead.
Yeah, they play this like really grinded out, ugly, physical basketball, and then you get to the Celtics, and then it's like you have to completely change gears. Now you have to play a way faster pace, and then you get to the finals, and you're playing either Denver or the Lakers or OKC, and it's like, okay, like who? That's really the only teams I see getting to the finals out of the West. I don't. Yeah, Denver, Lakers, OKC. That's probably it.
Okay, so no Minnesota run like last year.
It'd be fun, but I think it's
I do
without
think
Cat. I don't really see it happening.
Ant getting the ring, Ant or Shea. See, Shea's tough because Shea's gonna get in that category now, like Mahomes, where like we used to root for him, like we talked about in the past. Like we used to root for Mahomes because he was the quote unquote underdog due to him not being in the league that long, and then he was so good for so long. We hate him now, and I feel like Shea is creeping. Shea, whatever it is, he's creeping into that category. I feel like where even though he hasn't won yet, it's tough to be like, oh, if he gets it, I'm happy because it just feels like they've been just slaughtering the league.
I think it's fine. I think it's less about the team and more about how he plays. Like people think he's an unethical basketball player. They don't like.
What do you mean by that?
That they think he's a free throw merchant. They think he
like
is
James Harden, like where you
right.
Okay.
And it's the same deal though. People didn't like James Harden even though he hadn't won anything, and it's like you were playing really well, and you were maybe the only guy that could stack up against the Kevin Durant Lakers or like Warriors, but you were still despised by a giant percentage of the league because of how you played.
Right.
But nobody was as bad as James Harden. Like as far as being a free throw merchant, like
nah, bro.
Nothing compared.
I saw an interview back in 2012 where he broke down the whole technique on how he draws fouls, and he literally said he's like, you have to put your arms out. And then he talked about like coming up or something like that. So there's always going to be contact right there. But he's like, you have to bring your arms to them so that they have to contact you. And he's like a whole interview on how he draws fouls. So it's like, yeah.
It was like James Harden and Trae Young were the two forces that made them have to change the foul rule. Like to change the flopping rule because they were like, this is crazy. This is gotten out of hand between those two guys. But anyway,
we got more games to get to, Johnny.
Yes, sir.
You were right about that one. You did call that game. I was wrong.
I did.
But after that game, we had Phoenix Suns at the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs winning 120-109 without Wemby. Wemby announced missing the season.
It was a shocker.
It was crazy. I had SportsCenter on in the background. I came over here to look at some footage, and I turned around and saw Wemby out for the season. That was when I said that voice note. I was like, bro, this shit is crazy. But yeah, blood clot in the shoulder, as you mentioned. Hopefully, it's more like, what's his name? Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram, less like Chris Bosh. And honestly, Chris Bosh probably could have played, but the Heat did him dirty. We're not going to get into that right now.
Well, it's a real danger to play with a blood clot, with the chronic blood clots. That's like
But he was.
It's maybe the one thing.
But he was pronounced healthy though by doctors, and then at that point they still didn't let him play.
Yeah, because it's a danger. It's like a legitimate, like you could die on the court if you play with a blood clot.
Listen, man, if it's a man's wish to die doing what he loves, let him do it.
Okay, Mickey Rourke and the wrestler.
I mean,
let him die.
I'm not advocating fulfilling your death wishes at your job, but I'm just saying, like, if dying on that court makes Chris Bosh happy, then let that man die on that court if that's what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there, though. Neither here nor there, though. But on top of that, Pop also out for the season, as you mentioned. You don't think he's going to coach again. But crazy stat I saw from this game. Phoenix, despite Wemby being out, were beaten on the boards 44-39 and outscored points in the paint 50-36. Congratulations to Chris Paul also. 2 steals this game. Passed Jason Kidd for second all-time behind John Stockton.
Behind an unbreakable record.
Unbreakable record. Job. Second all-time, though, Chris Paul. Congratulations. But this game was crazy. I mean, I feel like Phoenix is trending towards dysfunction, which is wild considering the owner they have and like the status he's on. Because he seems like, he's a Ballmer type of owner, right? He's real rich, got deep pockets, came in there. He's more public than a lot of other owners are. But I mean, from the KD trade rumors to benching Bradley Beal so you could try to trade him to him now starting again. I mean, I don't know what's going on in Phoenix right now.
Well, he's a Ballmer type of owner. I think that's a great comparison, actually, because what did Ballmer do? He buys the Clippers, comes in, throws $1 billion at the Clippers, and says, "Give me the stars. I want to buy the stars. Get them over here. No matter what happens, buy him a jet, buy him a house, give his uncle a jet. I don't care. Do whatever you got to do. I want the stars here." And then they sucked and weren't competitive. That's what the approach was with the Suns. It's like, it doesn't work. The microwave team does not work in the NBA anymore. Like it doesn't. The only microwave team that has worked in the past 20 years, there's only been two. It's the Celtics, like the big three Celtics, and the Heatles. That's it. I can't think of another one.
Because even the Warriors were a microwave. They built that from the dust. Like, they built all of that.
Yeah.
And then KD
Everyone was drafted except for KD. And they already won a championship before KD got there. So, like, that's not a microwave team.
Right.
Everything else was drafted. But, yeah, like this, we're going to trade for all the stars. Like, it blows up every single time. And I don't know why these people keep trying it. It only happened... The only time that it happened and it worked was before teams were doing it. It was like, okay, the Celtics were the first team to do it. It worked out for them. And then the Heat were like, we're going to do it too. And it worked out for them. Since then, it doesn't happen anymore. So it's these teams these owners come in not understanding the league and want to have their team be competitive and exciting immediately. And like, yeah, KD will move tickets because he's Kevin Durant, but it's not a formula for winning long term. And that's what we're seeing. And it seems like that team is just disinterested, and there's no cohesion, and there's no happiness, and there's no competitive spirit when you watch them play. Like, it's just very, very pitiful when you have a team with Devin Booker in his prime and Kevin Durant, and it's not exciting to watch. That's a sad state of affairs. And they should be embarrassed for losing to the Spurs with no Wembanyama. I mean, that's crazy. Embarrassing.
No,
like,
it is. And that's what
the Knicks have had two bad losses in the last week, but at least it was to the two best teams in the East. Like, my God. You guys lost to a terrible team without their best player.
Yeah, without their best player. And their best player now is a player that hasn't even been there 2 weeks.
Right, he hasn't even started playing yet.
But but no, that's what owners do, though. I mean, you got to think about it. From a lot of their backgrounds, they're business owners, so they come in, and it doesn't always work in business, but typically, right, if you have money and you have a problem, you can throw money at the problem, you can solve the problem. But in sports leagues, whether it's like David Tepper with the Panthers in the NFL, or you look at teams like like Ballmer with the Clippers and the Phoenix Suns, you can't just throw money and expect to fix the problem. I mean, things like team chemistry, they take time to build. And it's just weird because Kevin Durant's not even playing bad. It's just like he's just there. Like, it's not even like he's Kevin Durant. He's just there. Like, yeah,
he's just Kevin Durant. Like, his stats aren't even that different than his career. He's just like, but it doesn't feel like he is. It's so dumb, but it doesn't really make sense. But it doesn't feel like he's trying, even though they're trying to win. It's like
he's just punching in for work and punching out. He's punching the clock.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, I think the difference is you can come in and throw money at it, and it can work out for you. I.e., the Broncos, where the Walton family comes in, buys the team, and then literally went like. What it feels like, it's very different than Tepper or Ballmer because we just see them constantly. They're always at the forefront of every team decision. And it feels like the Waltons are like a shadowy, secretive organization that are standing like in the darkness, watching over the Broncos, but you don't see them. It's like they put all the power in their people's hands, and Peyton and whoever the GM is.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's Peyton. They're both Peyton. George Peyton.
Oh, yes. You're right. Yes, George Peyton. And they just, for the Peyton, so they just went,
bro, I love it,
you
bro.
guys do it.
Peyton
and
Manning,
we're going to be the
George
shadowy
Payton.
cabal that watches everything and funds it.
Yeah.
Whereas David Tepper is like, I demand that we trade for the first overall pick. and like,
Dude's throwing beers at fans. Did you see that?
Yeah,
if you
David Tepper sucks.
I'm at least with the Steelers.
Yeah, Steve Ballmer. I'm like, at least I think he's actually like a nice guy and cares about the team and the city and like put money into LA and Inglewood and all of this fun stuff. Like put the stadium in Inglewood so it's more accessible to the citizens.
Right.
You know, and like that's cool. I like that, but then you got David Tepper, who I'm like, I think you hate everything about this. I think you suck, bro. Like, you have a punchable face. Steve Ballmer actually loves this shit. He just doesn't know what he's doing. I think you don't even like this.
Also, anybody in Phoenix, while we're on the topic, the owner, he's not bad. He did do one thing. They have the cheapest food. Did you see that? The cheapest food in the entire NBA?
Oh, I didn't.
They lowered the prices on everything. There's not a single thing on the menu that costs more than $5.
That's cool. I went there. I've been to the Suns.
You did,
that's the only NBA game I've ever gone to is the Suns when I was in Phoenix, and I remember this was before Homeboy bought the team though, so I remember it was just ridiculous stadium prices. I wasn't too impressed by it.
Every time I go to a game, it doesn't matter if I get 2 hot dogs, 5 hot dogs. I'm never spending less than $50. It's insane.
I just do it on like I always end up doing it on beer. Like you gotta go and just pay $15 for a beer.
I was gonna say 2 beers is like $20-$30.
Yeah,
but I have to now. I'm telling you, when I go to a game, I'm gonna say major pause before I say this. But when I go to a game, I just gotta get a glizzy, bro. I gotta get a glizzy. I don't know what it is.
What's wrong with that?
I get 3 glizzies, 2 sausages, a popcorn. Listen, listen. Here's my order. Put it on speed dial. Listen.
He says I gotta get a glizzy, and then he goes, I get 3 glizzies, 2.
Listen. 3 glizzies, 2 sausages, a popcorn.
2 sausages.
I got 2 beers and I got a pizza slice.
You're eating 5 dicks when you go to a fucking sporting event. You're eating 5 penises when you go to. You can have 1. You can't have 5 penises. You're having a bukkake when you go to a sporting event. What are we talking about?
Oh, that's going on the Patreon. Listen though. And then you got to get 2 beers. You got to get 2 beers at least. So yeah, bro, it's like $150. I don't know what you want me to say. And I might get a pretzel if I'm really feeling it. I might get a pretzel. I'm not gonna lie. Last game I went to was the Bills game against the Broncos. They did this dumbass shit, bro. Have you heard of this? They have to open your beers when they give them to you. Like I said, hey, can you just open the one, not open both? And she says I have to open both. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You have so I can spill it as I walk to my fucking seat? Because I got 2 hot dogs, 3 sausages, a pizza, and a pretzel in my fucking hand.
Are you sure you have to open them both?
I was like,
at that point, you just have to chug one standing there.
Bro, and it was cold as shit. No, listen.
I'm just trying to picture you in Bill's Stadium in a Broncos jersey holding so much food.
I'm surprised nobody flamed me. They're like, this glizzy goblin.
I would have been laughing so hard if I saw you with all that food. And it's all just hot dogs.
Well, here's what's fucked up. I think someone did me dirty. I think somebody spiked my drink. And not like literally, like not with like I mean with ice and snow and salt. Like, so I'm drinking my drink, bro. I usually set them strategically. So, like, I know, like, all right, people are walking by, like, they're not going to be kicking shit on it, like, you know. And, bro, I start taking a sip of this drink that I already started drinking. It tastes like salt and water. And I'm just looking around trying to see if anyone's, like, watching me drink it. Because I swear to God, somebody put salt in water, like not snow that obviously had salt in it, but they put I swear to God they put snow in my drink. Like, it had to.
I wouldn't be shocked.
There's no way. They must have saw the
Bills
Broncos
are
jersey.
famous for snow-based heckling.
They saw the Broncos jersey and they said, "I'm going to put snow in this man's drink." But I drank the whole drink, so joke's on them.
Yeah. Right. But anyway,
I
know somehow we're talking about the Bills. A Bills game in an NBA recap.
It was stadium prices. But anyway, we're a basketball show. Don't forget. De'Aaron Fox in that game, 11 straight points in the final 3 minutes. Finished with 26 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. My question is this before we get to the next game, Johnny. Because you say that it feels real David, Stern-like. They're going to get a top pick. But here's my thing. I feel like De'Aaron Fox is so good on his own that they're not going to be bad enough to slip that much.
Yeah, I think it's between the fact that they have 2 picks that will both be in the lottery. Like, I think even if they don't slip a ton, the West is so good that they'll still, like, that pick will still be in the lottery. The San Antonio pick, and then you've also got the Hawks pick.
So you're on board with my prediction then. So you think the Hawks slip out the playoffs?
Oh yeah, the Hawks suck.
Let's go.
The Hawks are tooling up for a rebuild.
They're 100%. They're ruining Quinn Snyder's resume, bro.
Yeah, they're tooling up for a rebuild. They definitely do not think that they're on the right pace. Otherwise, they don't get rid of DeAndre Hunter for nothing.
All I'm saying is this: don't make me a liar. Trade Trae Young. Moving along, Johnny. Now this, out of all 5 games, this is my favorite one to talk about. Do you know why, Johnny? Do you know why? Because
you're living vicariously through Donovan Mitchell because your team is bad, so you have to live vicariously through a player that used to play for it.
Yes, sir. I gotta be a Cavs and a Timberwolves fan for Rudy and Donnie because the Jazz suck. But if you watched this game last Friday, you would think the Knicks suck too. The Cavs win 142 to 105. The biggest Knicks loss of the decade. Now, it sounds bigger than it is. Decade's only 5 years in. But the biggest loss of the decade, the biggest loss under Tibbs. This game was never close. Knicks are 0-7 this year. It was close for
the first, when it was
when they tipped off.
When I texted you and I said, "Man, both of these teams are looking nice," and
it was close when they threw the ball up and it was 0-0.
Yeah, I was like, I texted you really early and I said, "Oh, both teams are making good plays. This might be a really good game," and then
it was like 11-8.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, this would be fun." Nope. Not fun.
No, it was funny because I had to go on a little drive when you texted me that, so I didn't actually see the score when you said that. So I was like, oh, it must be a good game. And by the time I looked, it was already yeah.
Yeah, it almost instantly, as if God was laughing in my face as I sent that text. Almost instantly, it started getting out of hand.
You're like, both teams are making good plays, and I was like,
they were.
Not on
for the first few possessions. I was like, "Oh, this is nice." There's defense on both sides, offense on both sides. They're passing it around. This is nice. And then,
it just spun out. Yeah,
just spun out.
Like your service there. I told you, man. You got to get off that Spirit Airlines fucking Wi-Fi.
I'm on the Spirit Airlines Wi-Fi.
You're on the Spirit Airlines.
I stole a router from a Spirit airplane. I brought it home.
The Spirit Airlines fucking home router. That's what this man's got. Look at this. What is this? He's gone again. I see you again. I see you. Dude, I don't know if
I don't know. Like I said, I've got a fully HD stream of the Lakers game running perfectly right here.
Maybe that's why you're fucking cutting out. Anyway, listen, here's what I'm saying. Though. We went from 2.5 megabits to 0 kilobits in a span of 10 seconds. That is crazy drop off.
No, it's just the server.
And now it's back up to 556 kilobits. But anyway... Upgrade your Wi-Fi, man. Get off that Spirit Airlines. Home
I've got
Wi-Fi.
I got that spirit. I stole it.
Your Wi-Fi is like that Knicks defense. No coverage. But anyway, back to my point. Knicks 0-7 this year against Boston, Cleveland, and OKC. The top 3 teams in the league right now. You can say what you want to say, but if you're going to win, you got to beat one of those 3 teams or the Lakers. But back to my earlier point, as I alluded to, the reason I will never bet against Spida when he plays the Knicks, the reason why I won this prediction, Johnny, is because Spida came in, I didn't know this, but he came in averaging 30.7 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists in 9 games in the regular season against the Knicks. Now, the Knicks could have had Donnie. Donnie wanted to go to New York, but they didn't make it happen.
No.
Do you have anything to say on this game, Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, it's very upsetting watching, and we're not going to talk about this game in this segment, so I'll lump in the Celtics game that happened 2 days later with this, because it was the same deal, that it was just an absolute boat racing, a dog walking, a terrible beat down on the Knicks. It's just, I've been seeing this all season, and it's like, the Knicks are obviously an objectively good team. They're probably the 6th best team in the league, objectively, maybe 5th. But when they play these better teams, especially the ones in the East, especially the ones that they're supposed to be, I mean, the Celtics, they play 5 times a year. You're supposed to have that game down. And you just don't. It's so frustrating. It's very upsetting to see, and it's not because of any injury. Like, we can't act like one injury is the only thing that is setting us back. And I think it's like we have to be able to retool for the playoffs. Otherwise, it's how can we expect to get to the conference finals even if we have to go through at least one of these teams to get there? The Cavs or the Celtics.
You're guaranteed you're going to have to go through one of those two.
Right. And so, but it seems like there is a formula for beating the Knicks the way as they're currently constructed, because who gives us trouble consistently? The Celtics, the Cavs, and that's just starting like recently. Like we manhandled the Cavs in the playoffs. Not last playoffs, but the playoffs before. Manhandled them, and they had pretty much the same roster, except for I think DeAndre Hunter is really the only change. Yeah. But it's those guys, OKC, which gives everyone problems, but us included, and the Pacers I'll throw in there just because they just manhandled us in the playoffs last year. It's like this fast-paced, shooting a lot, movement of the ball, really quick backcourt-based team, like team play. That's how you beat the Knicks. Is like, I think we're built to beat the Milwaukees and the Denvers. Like we can do that, like slow you down, out physical you, do all that stuff. We can beat you in that game, but like when you're just speeding up and down the court, throwing threes everywhere, that's when we feel like we're out of our element. So we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of really good defensive players, smart defensive minds. Right now we're pretty much a lock for the playoffs. So, unless we lose out completely, and even then we could still make it in the East. We're pretty much locked into the 3 seed, 4 at worst. So I think that the Knicks just have to think kind of ahead, not think about the next handful of games. Like they have to think ahead and go, how are we going to beat the Cavs and the Celtics? Because if we don't have a plan for that, then forget it. Like, I'm just going, we mortgaged our future to pick up OG and Mikal Bridges and Cat. And I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that play, but that can't be for nothing, and we can't just punt on it because we think that there are two teams that we don't match up with well. Because we have to beat them. At least one of them we have to beat. So I'm just hoping we get it together and get a plan going into the playoffs. Like, we do take it to another level in the playoffs, but we could get bit by the injury bug, and other teams also take it to another level. So, but that being said, I would take a Knicks team that feels like it's the third best in the conference over a Knicks team that it feels like it's the 14th best in the conference any day.
True, you've been there.
Any day.
You've been a Knicks fan through it all. I mean,
I have, and it's been unwatchable at some points. So I'll take this.
You could argue you kind of started watching the Knicks at the exact same time they became trash.
I started watching the Knicks when they got Carmelo. That was when I started watching.
So they got a little bit better. They were trash before.
I started out at a high point, and then I stuck through the lowest of lows, and then, yeah, and I know right before Carmelo was the worst of the worst, so I wasn't really an NBA fan. I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to start watching because the New York team just got the Syracuse guy, so let's do it, and I haven't looked back.
Bro, that shit was crazy. I cried when that happened. Not when the trade happened, but when his first game happened, they played Coming Home with like Skylar Gray, Diddy. They did this whole thing. Yeah, I'm not the first person he's made cry, allegedly. But they basically they played that whole song. It was like, I'm coming home, and I'm gonna stop there before we get copyrighted. But they did the song, the whole shit, bro. And I'm watching this like, this is so beautiful. Like, he's coming home, and it was great for like a hot year and a half.
It was sick.
And then there was issues. But yeah, man, them Knicks. Did I mention they lost 142 to 105?
I think so.
I think I did. Anyway, moving along. After that, we had my second favorite game of the week. My second favorite. We had the Lakers at the Nuggets on Saturday night. Lakers winning that game.
You skipped one. But, okay, whatever.
No, I didn't.
You want to do your wins in a row.
No, I didn't skip one. Thunder Timberwolves was Sunday.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought we did. That's funny. I misremembered. I thought we did Rockets Timberwolves.
Nigga, I don't want to watch the Rockets. Nah, that's the thing. As you'll notice, and this isn't just for you, Johnny, it's for everybody out there, it's going to seem like a lot of the teams that we're picking from are very similar teams. But the way that I feel about this, right, nobody wants to know what we think about who's going to win when the Lakers play the Charlotte Hornets or when the Nuggets play the Utah Jazz. Like, nobody gives a fuck about that. So, like, every game that we are picking are the top 5 games that have the most impact on the playoff seedings. So I'm not even looking at games where it's not 2 teams with a winning record, if we're being real. So as you'll see with the next segment, there's gonna be some teams we're gonna be following, keeping tabs on. But no, Johnny, we did not do the Rockets. We did not do the Rockets. That's all good though. That's all good because I know you saw that game too. But Lakers 123-100. The first Lakers win in Denver in almost 3 years. April 10th, 2022. They never trailed. They snapped the Nuggets' 9-game win streak. Now, the Nuggets have never had a 10-game win streak under Malone. But none of those 9 wins came against teams currently in the top 6 in their conference. And the Lakers also had lost 13 of 14 games to the Nuggets prior. But yeah, this kind of went down exactly how I thought it would. Luka baby. Hookah Luka. That's all I got to say.
Well, I mean, the more important part is not as much Luka, but the fact that Jokic was held to 12 points somehow. It's like some guy with a podcast figured out how to beat the Nuggets after just years of NBA head coaching minds could not do it. It was like, no, we're going to get this guy with a podcast. He figured it out. And sure enough, I mean, yeah, more than anything, like, there was plenty of times when the Lakers would play the Nuggets and it would be a, you know, 30 and 20 game from AD and a, classic LeBron 27, 11 and 9 stat line, and it didn't matter.
Right.
Like cuz Jokic would just body them. And it just didn't happen. For some reason, they figured out how to hold Jokic to still a triple-double, but a 12-point triple-double, a Draymond Green stat line. Like it was very, very shocking, to say the least. But congrats to the Lakers. I'm happy for them. I'm not a fan of the Nuggets. I feel about the Nuggets how I felt about, like, not to this level, obviously. I'm exaggerating a bit, but how I felt about, like, Tom Brady when he was playing, where it was like, I don't like him. I don't want him to win, but I fear him. like, I don't like Jokic. I don't want him to win, but I fear him. He strikes fear in my heart. So I'm happy. I'm happy about the Lakers win, but shocked at the Nuggets lost.
Yeah. I predicted it, but I can't say I'm not a little bit shocked that it was that big of a win. And yeah, Jokic 12 points. That's almost impossible. I mean,
crazy.
That might be his lowest scoring game in like 7 years or something. Might have to check that, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those games. Nuggets had the first 8 of the second half. They pulled 6-3-62. Then from there, 10-0 run, sparked by a James dunk, capped off by Luka 3. Never looked back. Both teams, funny enough, as well, were 16 of 41 from long range. Interesting. They just had the same exact attempts, same exact makes. But yeah, Luka. Like I said, not more to say than that. Luka. Moving on, though. Not the Rockets, Timberwolves, but the Thunder, Timberwolves. On Sunday.
That's
funny. Thunder won 130-123. Now, this game, Johnny, looked like a blowout early. Looked like it was said and done. But the Wolves battled back. They even took the lead a couple times. Third quarter, fourth quarter, but they could not keep it at the end. Timberwolves missed 11 of their 12 three-point attempts, their first 12. And we'll kind of get into this. It wasn't this game, but they played again, rematch last night. Similar situation. Again, down big, but as we already discussed, huge Timberwolves comeback. And that leads to this stat here. Minnesota is the only team to beat the Thunder in the last 27 days. They have a 9.5 game lead on Denver and Memphis, who are 2-3, which is crazy. It's over. I mean, they're number one, right? Like, there's no shot that anyone catches them.
Oh, the Thunder?
I mean, 9.5 games, it's done, right?
No shot. Yeah.
Like, they would have to catastrophically collapse to not be the 1 seed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would think so, but I'm still not, like, threatened by them as a team in the West yet.
Not Shea? I mean,
like, in the playoffs.
Hold on, we gotta
in the playoffs.
Is it Shea or Shy? Before we get into, is it Shea or Shy?
Shea.
It's Shea.
Shea.
But see,
Shea.
See what's crazy? So I don't even call him. I know his last name is Gilgeous Alexander.
No, you call him Shy Egregious. I know exactly.
Yeah, dude, because General Grievous, dude, from Star Wars. So I just call him. I call him Shy Egregious Alexander.
It's crazy. You, like, add in letters that aren't there. You add an R into his last name that is not there. It's crazy.
Oh, damn.
Shea Gilgeous Alexander.
But yeah,
just call him SGA if it's,
But SGA, though, he's so good. I mean, I know, right, the free throw merchant, but, like, he's got so many clutch buckets. Like, he is the go-to fourth quarter scorer, like, right now.
He is really good. The problem with him that I've seen argued, and I think it's true, there's a couple of problems with the team, but the main one is that the free throw merchant game does not translate to the playoffs because they stopped blowing the whistle for it.
Right.
So you now have to get your own shot, not to mention that Luka has already taken the Thunder to task once. If they run into the Lakers, Luka knows how to stop the Thunder. No, we'll see. I mean, it's not impossible, but I still think beyond Shea, there are very good players on that team. None of them are threatening.
Not Chet.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. He might
Not
get there, but he's still. I mean, he's still B-Rad from Malibu's Most Wanted. That's all he is to me right now.
and not Jalen Williams either.
Very good guy, but like he's not like threatening yet. I'm like scary, and I'm like scary. I like to go off just a vibes meter of like the players on the team. Like I have to like threaten by you, and I just don't yet for that team. I think they will get there. I think they'll get to a point where it's just scary and that team's just evil. But I'm not sure if they're there yet.
Okay.
And maybe they'll prove me wrong, but I think I could just see like Shea just might not be getting the calls he's used to, and it changes where he starts taking his shots from, and it could just throw the whole vibe off completely.
Okay.
But for the meantime, they're doing great, and I think I have high hopes for them. And they'll probably go conference finals, but I don't know if they represent the West.
Okay, but for the record, you don't have any issue with the fact that whenever they interview the player of the game, they get the whole team involved as opposed to that player just taking the interview.
It's fun.
That's been a topic of debate that they're not. I forget the words they use. Draymond was one of the people that had a big issue with it, but that they're not quote unquote killers because that whole team thing, bringing them all in the interviews, doing the barking like a dog, all that. You're cool with that. Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, like team chemistry, that's sick. I don't even mean like. I think just like a pure, like you guys are so young. Chet's not even in his like full grown man body yet.
And he was like he's still hurt most of the year too.
What? Right, he's an injury risk still. Like Chet needs to go through a Giannis like body transformation.
Bro, if Chet looked like Giannis, that shit would be crazy.
I'm not saying he'll get to Giannis, but like you know what I mean. He's still like gangly. He looks gangly and weak, and he's talented, but like it translates to your physical health, bro. Your physical health is that of a gangly, weak man. So, right. I think they're still not like at the threat level to me yet, but I think they're still really good. I still think they're probably likely in the conference finals, but there's just a couple little holes in their operation that I don't see in other teams.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because they don't got Luka.
Luka and LeBron.
I'm about to be the biggest Luka fan in the entire world. Just watch. But anyway,
I'm okay with it.
Anyway, it's time. It's time for the winner. Talk that talk. Gotta give a little speech, Johnny. So listen, guys.
All right, take me off air. Take me off air. Just center yourself.
Nah, I want them to see your face when I say this shit.
Okay.
Nah, we'll go to
the mic down. I'll put the mic down.
No losers on this. No losers on this one. Listen, guys.
Taking such the 3-2 dude taking such a victory lap. He's acting like he just won the Super Bowl.
I have to put your face on just for that. Now listen.
My God.
Listen, guys. Listen. This is for everyone who's ever had a dream. Listen. If you've ever had a dream, they will try to take it from you. They will do everything in their power to stop you from reaching what your goal is. You need to protect that. That dream is sacred. Martin had a dream at one point.
Why did you bring up Martin Luther King?
And look at us now. So listen, anyone who tries to stop you from what you know is your God-given ability, fuck them. And that's from me. So go get what you're worth, go take what you're worth, and don't let anyone tell you anything else. Chase your dream. And that's all I got to say on that, Johnny. That's all I
Bears
gotta
on
say.
3. 1, 2, 3. Bears.
Because I chased my dream this week and I got that 3-2 dub.
I'm okay. It was actually more motivational than it was. Hey, I thought you were gonna get real mean there. I thought you were going off.
Bro. Nah, maybe next
Motivational.
time.
I'm gonna if I win the next one, I'm gonna spend my time talking that talk. I'm just gonna give stock tips.
Hey, it's your 60 seconds. Use it how you
60
want.
seconds.
Use it how you want. If you want to promo some stuff, you got any products you're selling?
Mm-hmm.
Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
I'm gonna read The Art of War for 60 seconds.
Like, this is for my dad.
My dad, my hero.
But anyway, check this out, Johnny. It's time for King of the Court, where we determine which couch coach is crowned King of the Court. It was me last time, if you didn't know. Through weekly picks of 5 of the biggest games from the week ahead. So we got our top 5 games this week. Starting off with the first one. It is currently underway, but I trusted the NBA schedule and I knew we'd have time because even though it was scheduled to start at 10, there was no way in hell it was starting until 10:20. Mm-hmm. So,
and for the people at home, it's currently 27-20 is the score. 27-20
don't say
Lakers.
Who's what.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's what I'm just letting the people know for posterity's sake.
It doesn't change my pick anyway. Yeah. Mavericks, Lakers tonight, right now, 10 o'clock. I got Lakers. I'm honestly not going to. I don't think I'm going to pick against Luka once all season, if we're being real.
Yeah, you can, I think, extrapolate from my Sportstradamus prediction and assume that if I'm giving Luka 45 plus in a revenge game, that I think they're going to win. So I'm also going Lakers.
So we'll know if you're right or wrong by the end of the night.
Yeah, probably not by the end of the podcast, but by the end of the night.
Nah, they're probably like another quarter after we're done.
Yeah.
All right. That is the first unanimous pick of King of the Court.
Woo!
We'll at least get one win and one loss together. History made. Next, we have on Thursday night, 8 o'clock, Nuggets at the Bucks. Who you got?
I'm going Bucks. I like Giannis better, so I'm taking the Bucks. Let's go. Hold on. Let me look at his injury designation right now, though. I just want to double check this. Let me make sure what his designation is because I know he is banged up. He's all good. Good to go. Okay. Good to go. Yeah. We're going Bucks.
Going Bucks?
Yep.
You see, this is a tough one for me because the Nuggets are a solid team. But there's one reason I'm going with the Bucks, and Johnny, you might laugh when I say it. The people might think I'm crazy. But something about the addition of Kyle Kuzma has really made me feel different about the Bucks. Because he just gives a little something different than Middleton could give. And I think he gives that juice. He comes from a losing system. But historically, he's not a loser. He was just in a losing situation. And I think he's going to be rejuvenated. He is rejuvenated to help the Bucks get to a title. They're not going to this year, but they will win this game. I got Bucks as well. And I think this next game is where we're going to defer. We got the Cavs at the Celtics Friday.
Oh, yeah.
7:30.
We will certainly defer here. We will diverge here. Yeah. Yep, that's fair.
That is fair. With that is, I'll let you say it, Johnny. You tell the people who you got.
You got Celtics.
You got Celtics, of course.
I'm not gonna be cheering for them, but I got them. I think they're gonna win. Yeah, I think they're the best team in the league.
Listen, man. I got that, man. I got 2 words for you. Spider Mitchell. Cavs in 7. Now we got Cavs. So yeah, we'll diverge there. So at least somebody will win. Somebody will win. We're not gonna have the same record. Imagine if we both went 0-5. You know how bad that'd be. Who gives the speech then?
Neither of us. We just play. We just look up a like losing coach press conference, and or we just play the clip of Michael Jordan crying for a minute straight.
Well, luckily, we won't have to do that this week. Our fourth game on Sunday, 1 o'clock. We have the Nuggets at the Celtics. Interesting one. A finals rematch. A finals
Celtics.
rematch. You got Celtics?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I like to be the voice of difference. Do I 100%?
You said finals rematch? Which finals?
A couple years ago. Oh, they played the Warriors. Nuggets played the Heat.
What the Celtics played the Warriors, then the Nuggets played the Heat,
You're right.
and then the Celtics played the Mavs.
That was the infamous Jimmy bending over the fucking the end out of bounds thing. Mad fucking dead because he was just playing his ass off.
We actually haven't gotten this matchup in the finals yet, which is kind of sad. That would have been a fun matchup, even though I don't like either of these teams. It would
Do you think it really
matchup.
would be though? I mean, Jokic versus Tatum and Brown. I mean, I feel like that's not really like a. I mean, you have Murray, but
in the sense of like it's the person who I believe is the best player in the league against the best team in the league. Like that's what I mean, I guess, in the sense. But nah, I mean, I don't think it would be a good series. I think right now, if it happened, it wouldn't be a good series. I think the Celtics would destroy them.
yeah.
I think that's like a 5-game Celtics win.
What'd you just say?
And as a 5-game Celtics win, like Celtics in 5.
Celtics in 5.
In that series, yeah.
So you're saying in a 5-game series, the Nuggets would get 1?
In a 7-game series, the Nuggets would get 1.
All right. Well, thank you for making my prediction for me because luckily on Sunday, the Nuggets only need to get 1. I'm going Nuggets.
Yeah, I'm picking the Celtics twice.
Yeah, you're probably puking.
This is not out of any love for the Celtics. It's out of respect for what that lunatic Joe Mazzulla has built.
Man, any Knicks fan right now, they would despise you for picking their biggest rival 2 times.
Hey man, I'm trying to be an impartial judge here.
He's like, listen, I want to get a speech. I'm not trying to be biased.
Yeah.
I want to sell some product.
You know what? If we get this, I'll do. If I win this, I will do a 1-minute speech, trashing the city of Boston.
That's hilarious.
Just trashing the city of Boston, just to balance the scales.
My man said, "I'm gonna do Oppo research and everything."
I fucking hate Mark Wahlberg. I'm just gonna go nuts on him.
Oh my god, I might do that on Michael Jordan if I win next time. Anyway. LeBron, I'll just hype LeBron and shit on Jordan. Anyway, 5th game, Johnny. Also on Sunday, night game. Good little rivalry. It's technically Clippers at the Lakers, but really it's just Clippers versus Lakers because they play in the same arena. Who you got in this one?
They don't play at the same arena.
Oh, you're right.
They don't play at the same arena.
They did
anymore.
until this
they
year.
Used to. Not
until
anymore.
This year. You're right.
Yep. Lakers. I mean, I have no faith in the Clippers. I have no faith in the Clippers.
Man,
what are we doing here?
Man, you took Luka twice this week.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think I dislike Luka? The only stance I made is that I think he's like the third best player in the league, and I think that Jokic is the best, and Giannis is the second.
Our friendship only works if I'm the biggest Luka fan and you're the biggest Luka hater in the world.
I'm not. I'm just not. I like Luka. I like Luka better than Jokic. I just think Jokic is the better player.
I also have the Hookah Luka Lakers. Say that 5 times fast. Lakers. So that being said, Johnny, someone's gonna win.
Yeah, it's all honestly. It's all at the Celtics.
We split 2, so we could tie.
We could tie.
If we tie, we both get 30 seconds of speech. We'll quickly pan off air for both of us.
Yeah, we if we tie, we just have to sit here and do 1 full minute of dead air.
If we tie, we do 1 minute of us both giving a speech. Just
at the same
talking
time.
over each other.
Right, we both take off our headphones so we can't hear the other one, and we do just an unlistenable 1 minute of content.
And we let the people listen to whatever one they want to hear, or whatever one they're able to hear.
It would be terrible. It would be pure cancerous, unlistenable content, but it would be funny.
Terrible, absolutely terrible.
You guys better hope we never tie.
Check this out, Johnny. In our next segment, Instant Replay, we get behind the booth for when our viewers need coverage on the biggest stories in sports from a different angle. So with our first story, Johnny, Woj bomb phones for sale. So check this out. As you may remember, we had a very prominent ESPN reporter retire earlier in the year. So Adrian Wojnarowski is going to auction off his Woj bomb phones. So, general manager currently of St. Bonaventure men's basketball is going to auction off the iPhones that he used to break the largest news in his career. He wrote, Woj bombs are history, but now you can be a part of them. Own the iPhones I used to report the biggest stories in basketball. Those items include the phone he used to break the news of the Los Angeles Clippers adding Kawhi Leonard and Paul George during 2019 offseason, as well as the phone he used to relay information during the 2023 NBA draft as the Spurs selected Victor Wembanyama, number 1 overall. Fans can also bid on his NBA All-Star and NBA Finals media credentials. Now, the funds from this are going to go to the NIL for St. Bonaventure. His role with the Bonnies include name, image, and likeness opportunities, and as a liaison with collectives, transfer portal management, recruit, family, and alumni player relationships, professional player programs, and program fundraising. Are you buying or are you selling the Woj bomb phones, Johnny?
What about that? What was that last question again?
Are you buying or are you selling the Woj bomb phones?
I'm not buying a Woj bomb phone.
Is this something that's worth it to you? Is this something that's just
no, not me personally.
You have the money right now. You're looking. Boom! You see the Woj. So you see the Woj bomb phone. He's breaking Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. You're not buying it.
No. I would. There are better things to buy. No, like mind you, maybe the only reason I would even consider it is because my mom is an alumni of St. Bonaventure. But otherwise, no. I that's a fine little treat to buy. But the phone that a guy broke news on, it's like cool. I mean, I like Woj, I respect him, and I like what he's doing, but I can't imagine that's even going to sell for much.
Okay. I don't know, man. You might get some money. You might get some money. If you had an item, all right, so you have an item from your own personal life, Johnny, that has some type, whether it's sentimental, achievement, historical value to it, like the Woj bomb phone that you're going to auction off. What are you auctioning?
That's a good question. I don't really know. Maybe I don't know. I'm not a sentimental person. I don't really keep things. So
damn, nothing. You don't have your yearbook still?
I have no idea where my yearbook is. If I see your yearbook, I think it's probably my mom's house. I don't have it here. I can say that for sure. I don't have it here. I don't know. My toenail clippings.
I got 2 things. One, my old phone. That phone has made over 15,000 cold calls in the span of a year and a half. Shit's a thing of beauty. Started my career. 2, my graduation cap and gown. I would auction those off because I completely finessed the school on those. I didn't pay for that. I didn't pay for that. They gave it to me.
Maybe if
they gave it to me for
that
free.
Vein, maybe it would be my National Honor Society thing because I also finessed that because
Were you
it
not in
hit
that?
me. No, I was in it, but it hit me at the end where I went. They were like, "You have to turn in your work hours, your volunteer
Oh, the
hours,"
volunteer.
and I was like, "No, I don't." Like it hit me right before where I was like, "Wait a second, you're not. I already have the gear. I'm already listed in the program for as a member of National Honor Society for the graduation. I have the thing that says I'm in it, and I'm already in college. So there's literally nothing will happen if I don't hand this in. Like I will still graduate as a member of National Honor Society. So I just didn't do it. I was like, nothing will happen, and sure enough, nothing happened.
Nah,
So
literally, they gave it to me for free. I came to pick it up for the practice ceremony for graduation, and
mhm.
they said something about fucking paying for it later or something. They gave me the thing, bro. I walked across that stage. I graduated, and I was like, "Why would I pay it for it? Pay for it? I don't need it no more."
Right. So
Nah, that's what I'd auction. I'd auction that off.
mhm. I do toenails, but close second
Toenails.
would be I was auctioning
Actually,
on my toenail.
actually, you know what? I could auction off my toenails, but not the ones on my feet. I in my it's gonna be wild. I've never told anybody this. I have two things that most people would be like, why would you keep those? One is my wisdom tooth. And I say tooth because three are still in. Only one has been removed. Other three beyond the means of a normal dentist to take care of. But one of them was removed, and I said I want to keep that shit, and they didn't. They almost didn't give it to me. They were like, We're not supposed to do this." And I'm like, "What do you mean? It's my tooth. I paid for you to take it out. I'm walking out of here with that tooth." So I have that tooth still. I also have two entire toenails. Listen, so when I was at Alfred University, I was working out with the football team because I only went there for football. But I didn't play football my freshman year. So my sophomore year, I was going to play. Now, I'm a D-back. So as you know, we backpedal a lot. I on my toes. I'm backpedaling. It must have happened where I cracked my toenails backpedaling somehow, like pressing, whatever it was. I cracked my toenails in the middle. I did the research. So when your toenails crack, your body doesn't know that there's a toenail there still. So what it does is it just grows another toenail under it. So like I legitimately had a toenail grow under an entire toenail that I have and push it off. And by push it off, I mean it got to the point where I had to rip it off because it was like, bro, I'm not dealing with this no more. But I could auction off toenails without removing my current toenails.
That was
And
much more interesting than the Woj phone. I'll tell you what.
anyway,
Tell you what.
you'd buy that before the Woj phone?
Yeah, yeah. If you auction the toenails off, let me know.
Like side by side, same price, Woj phone, toenails. You're like, I'm going toenails.
Yeah, the toenails.
But yesterday, Johnny, so it was reported an unidentified team filed a request, and we talked about this a couple episodes ago. Filed a request to ban the Tush push, otherwise known as the brotherly shove. It was later identified that that team was the Green Bay Packers. So their ownership, general manager, coach, whatever it may be, they filed. So essentially the way that it works, they file this, it then gets looked into, then it gets voted upon by all the owners. But it caused a couple different waves. It caused some different quotes. A lot of different coaches coming to the defense and or the willingness to get rid of the Tush push. First off, none other than Nick Sirianni, who had this to say to the potential ban of the Tush push. He said, "I've seen some of the stuff that it's an automatic play. I almost feel a little insulted because we work hard at that play. The amount of things that we've looked into, how to coach that play, the fundamentals. I can tell you how many times we practice a snap. We practice the play because it's not a play that was easy to practice in different ways. We figured out how to practice it. We work really, really hard, and our guys are talented at this play. And so it's insulting to say because we're good at it, it's so automatic. Now, the general manager of the Packers, Brian, I'm not going to try, Gutekunst, if that's how you do it.
Gutekunst,
Mr. Brian G. That's his name on this show from now on. Mm-hmm. Brian G. Confirmed on Tuesday his team had submitted the proposal. He said, we really haven't had very many discussions about it. I'm sure we will over the next few weeks as we head into the owners' meetings. So I'm aware that we did, but really, we haven't had many discussions about it. Now, from there, a couple other coaches also had some things to say. Atlanta Falcons coach Raheem Morris involved. He said there's no skill involved. It's almost an automatic first down on plays of a yard or less. He said he wouldn't mind seeing the play outlawed. I've never been a fan, never understood why it was allowed. I'd definitely be one of the guys voting against it. Bills coach Sean McDermott, who also a member of the competition committee, on Monday mentioned player safety concerns. The way the techniques that are used with the play, to me, have been potentially contrary to health and safety of the players. You have to go back through, in fairness, to the injury data on the play, but I just think the optics of it, I'm not in love with. And Sirianni disagreed with that concern, saying, I think it's a little made up. I can't remember one injury we had on that play, and we ran it more than anybody else. But again, Johnny, we alluded to this a little bit. We mentioned this era being the era of the tush push, potential for it to be outlawed. But what are your thoughts on this, Johnny? And how does it change the landscape of the league moving forward if it is outlawed?
I've never been pro outlawing it just because I think that it's not an automatic play. I think I kind of agree with Sirianni on that one where it's like we see other teams try to run it and they can't do it. So I'm like, it's not effective with other teams. So I do agree with him. Like, it seems like you guys got it down to a science and the other teams can't replicate it. So it is something that you can do. And it seems like it would be the equivalent of like if when Vic was playing and no one else had the wheels that he had, if they were like, the quarterback scramble is outlawed, this is unfair. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay.
Like 7-on-7.
Right. It's just like, okay, I guess. Like, it's just that one team can do it really well. So I don't agree with the decision. That being said, I think it'll happen. Like, I mean, once they started doing it, it was a matter of time before it was going to get banned. And I think enough teams will vote to ban it because it's in their best interest to handicap the Super Bowl champion. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, most teams don't run the play. So they're probably just going to see it as, well, we can take away their one of the things that makes them great. Yeah, but mind you,
superpower.
They didn't win the Super Bowl off the tush push. So, like, I don't think it changes that much. It just kind of changes what they do in these short situations. But I think Sirianni, at the end of the day, is a go for it on fourth guy, regardless of if they can do the tush push. And the Eagles are a talented enough team that they'll probably get it more often than not. So I don't think it changes the landscape that much, but it definitely changes how the Eagles have to look at their offense. But I guess that's not the worst thing because they have a new OC coming in. So but I'm not shocked at all. I am a little surprised that it's the Packers. It's a weird one. Hey, you'd think it'd be like a division rival or something.
They did beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah, but
they were like, I'm sick of this shit.
It's still strange. Yeah. But anyway, I'm not shocked at all by it. I'm not someone that necessarily thinks it should be banned, but I'm definitely interested to see, as we talked about before, like, it's one of these rules where now you have to define what the tush push is.
Right.
And then from there now, teams will read the exact wording of that and try to figure out a loophole. So it'll be interesting.
Right. Yeah. No, it'll be interesting. Like you said, they're going to figure out, even if they can't do that, there's just going to be something else that they figure out. right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're not just gonna just not figure out how to get around that rule.
I would
But
totally get it if the whole league was doing it.
well, yeah.
But like,
To your
one
point,
team does it. Who cares?
Andy Reid himself said the Chiefs would run it if they could do it effectively.
Yeah.
So I
So
mean,
I think it's dumb that they would outlaw it, but I think they're going to because it's in every team's best interest to weaken the defending champion.
yeah, and you know what's actually not often reported? At least I didn't see this till I was looking into this a little bit. Did you know they ran the tush push, quote unquote, the brotherly shove, between 2016 and 2020 as well? They ran that play with Carson Wentz.
Yeah. I know that I saw a thing that was talking about the history of it, and it was going back to
Well,
it
'cause
was
they
going
made-
all the way
they
back to
made
like
it.
Sirianni on the Colts doing
Yeah.
like trying it with Brissett. That it was
Once
like
that rule changed, it used to be illegal. You couldn't push the runner forward, but now
Yeah.
they changed that rule. But yeah, so that's the crazy thing too. Is like you think about it, like we didn't even start to hate it until like 2 years ago, but he'd been doing this. But yeah, but staying with the Eagles, initial report that the Eagles had declined a visit to the White House. Then a following report actually said that the White House, a la President Trump, didn't even invite the Eagles for a visit because of what happened last time they won the Super Bowl. So if you remember, Johnny, the whole trajectory, the political climate back with the last time the Eagles won, right? We had the Colin Kaepernick thing going on, a lot of different things going on. There was a lot of players that were going to protest the visit, and so because of that, he basically said, you know what, nobody's coming, and canceled it. And so a lot of reports think because of that history, they're just not going to be invited in the first place. But what are your thoughts on that?
hell yeah. Hell yeah. Honestly, I'm going to look at you like a fucking lame if you go to the White House as a sports champion. You're a fucking loser if you do that. I don't rock with you if you do that. Shout out to the Eagles for declining it, because let me tell you what, you know the Chiefs wouldn't have. And I would have been like, yeah. Patrick would have loved it. Kelsey would have said, it's an honor for the president no matter who it is. Whatever. So shout out the Eagles for taking a stand regardless of whether they were invited or not. I support it. Obviously, fuck Donald Trump, so I rock with it. Sorry if I'm gonna affect any of our outreach to viewers, but
Listen, if they don't like who you are as a person, they're not for the podcast anyway.
yeah.
But no, my thing is, it's just crazy. I gotta look this up, but like, I don't think this has happened under anybody else ever.
No. Yeah, there's no reason to decline the White House visit otherwise. Like, it's just, yeah, of course. Doesn't matter, but yeah, fuck that guy. And I applaud anybody that takes that stance. Because I don't think we should be normalizing this dude.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. But you win your first Super Bowl. You're not going to the White House.
If it's Donald Trump as the president, hell no. There's a lot of people, honestly, but I'm more of a political dickhead than a lot of people. Like I'm like, so it's maybe different for me because like I probably wouldn't have gone to the White House with George Bush as president either because I didn't support the Iraq War, and so there's like certain things I probably wouldn't have. I there's a world where I might not have even done it for Obama because of the drone strikes. Like, there's a world where I might not have, and I might not have gone for Biden because of Palestine. So there's a lot of stuff. I'm not a big supporter of the U.S. presidency in general, so I'm consistent. But I think that Trump is uniquely turn it down. I wouldn't even consider it. I wouldn't consider it. If I was the Super Bowl MVP, the most important face of the team, I'm a Patrick Mahomes level player for my team, I still wouldn't do it. And I'd go, you guys can go without me because it's actually more of a statement if I don't go and you guys do.
Right.
But I'm not going. Like, it's just not happening. I don't care. You guys want to go and support this demagogue, by all means. It's not me though.
Yeah. No, honestly, same boat. Well, I don't even like. I can't pretend to like somebody. So you know what I'm saying? So like, just imagine like you got to be in there, you got to eat food, take pictures and shit. I'm supposed to be smiling in this picture. Like, I'm not gonna be smiling in this picture. I'm gonna look mad as fuck. I don't want to be here. So I don't know. It's just interesting. It's interesting. Never happened before. Now it's happening. Making history. Look at that. But anyway, moving along. We talked about this a little bit before we got on here, Johnny. It's reported that Matthew Stafford wants $50 million a year. Now, that would put him right below Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts in annual salary, but ahead of Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Kirk Cousins, Deshaun Watson, and Kyler Murray. He's currently getting paid $40 million a year, right behind Josh Allen, who's getting paid $43 million a year. First of all, is he worth that jump in pay? And second, does that level of demand for pay affect his situation with the Rams?
I think it. I think you could argue he is worth that for a short-term deal. Like the only thing that you would say he's not is because he's old. Like so you wouldn't want to do like the Kirk Cousins 4 years. But if it was saying like I want 50 mil for 2 years, like 50 mil a year for 2 years, I think that's perfectly reasonable for Matt Stafford and what he has accomplished. He was the only guy that played the Eagles close in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's still completely competent, consistent, gets his team to the playoffs, wins, good leader. Yeah, I mean, so my thing is yeah, I think that's worth it in a short-term basis. But I don't know if it does change much with the Rams because I don't think it's like as much a money thing for the Rams as like a we need to keep moving forward thing. And Matt Stafford's not going to get better. At best, he stays exactly the same.
Right.
But we need to start looking towards the future of this team because that's what McVay has been doing since he got there. Is just I'm going to move on. It's very Belichickian. It's very I'm going to move on early rather than move on late. I would rather move on early and have a guy have a good year somewhere else than move on late and have an albatross contract around my neck that I can't do anything with.
Right.
So I kind of think it's not going to change much for the Rams as far as their position. That being said, I also think that I don't know if they're that what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know if they're that hasty to move off Matt Stafford to the extent where they would take something bad for him in return.
Right.
Like they would want something really good in return, and I just don't know if the market is there unless somebody's just dumb.
Like a top pick or something like that.
Right. I think they want first rounders for him. And at least one.
As they should. I mean,
I don't know if they'll get that.
Right. Yeah, they probably wouldn't get it, but they should expect it, though. I mean, you're giving a quarterback that can play at a high level still. I don't know, though. Here's all I'm saying. If I am the Rams, I'm going to look at Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and I'm going to say, I don't know. As far as, like, should you get paid more than them? But if I am Matt Stafford's agent, I'm going to say, look at Kirk, look at Deshaun, and look at Kyler. I should be getting paid more
I mean,
than them.
you're it's just like the cycle of paying quarterbacks. Like the only reason he's ahead of them is not because of
Skill,
like how good they are, right? It's just because they haven't come to the top of the wheel where they get their payday yet.
Which I guess is a good thing because that's the whole right. I guess that's the goal, right? If you demand 50, now somebody better than you has to demand more, and it just keeps pushing up what we get paid.
Yeah, I mean Dak's getting paid 60 a year, so
yeah. Let's see how long he's there. Taking for Shador? No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, Johnny, we're gonna blind rank because let's just assume that the Rams say, you know what, Matt Stafford, we're sick of you. We're sick of your wife talking all over the place on social media. 50 million's too much. There's 6 teams that could potentially get him that make the most sense. You're gonna blind rank 6 of these teams. So you're gonna.
All right, I got 6.
You're gonna get the reveal one at a time.
Yep.
Pick the place. You know how it works.
Yeah, I know the blind ranking system. Let's do it.
I
already know what my number 1 is, so we're good to there, but it's the rest.
You don't even know the 6.
I know what my number 1 is.
The first team is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Number 1. Easy work.
Really?
Easy work. Hell yeah. What have I kept saying about the Steelers for this whole time is that Tomlin is somehow pulling these winning seasons, playoff seasons out of his ass with bottom 10 quarterback play. You get Matthew Stafford on that team, and the sky's the limit. You know what I mean?
Matt Stafford, the Pickens?
It'd be nice. I don't know if we're going to have Pickens still, but I would like the idea of it. But yeah, I would be over the moon with Matt Stafford for a couple years. Like and then we can take our time to find another quarterback that we can,
Arch
and build through the draft. That'd be sick.
You imagine Matt Stafford and Arch?
That'd be real fun. But yeah, Stafford is like the only quarterback we could bring in this offseason that I would be excited about. Like, I would be trepidatious. Would you get a jersey? No.
Do you even have? Do you have any Steelers jerseys?
I got a Watt. Yeah.
Oh, TJ. I was like, JJ.
Yeah, I got TJ. No, TJ Watt. Yeah. But my thing's always been like, I'm not going to get a jersey unless I think they're going to be like a long-term Steelers guy. And so, like, I never got I love Najee, but I never got a Najee jersey because I was like, I'm not convinced we're going to re-sign him.
He's a running back. Probably not.
Right. So.
Well, yeah. Take it from me, but take it from me. I have jerseys from players that I thought were the ones. Mm-hmm. That never played.
I mean, TJ is already he's inarguably like a top 3 Steelers defender all time. So like,
he's Hall of Famer. He's Hall of Fame lock.
He retires tomorrow. He's a Hall of Famer. And I'm saying like this is a Steelers defender. So you're talking this is a team that has had Rod Woodson, Joe Green, and Troy Polamalu, James Harrison. Like it's had some crazy players on that defense, and so for TJ to be counted amongst them already is pretty crazy. Yeah. So I'm glad I have no regrets about that jersey.
All right, number 1 Steelers.
Steelers 1. Mm-hmm.
All right, the second team, Tennessee Titans.
That's going to be a 5.
Okay.
That's a 5. As far as just like it's not a need thing. I'm not doing this based on how bad they need a quarterback. I'm like based on like how good do I think this team will become from adding Stafford?
Right.
How much will Stafford improve this team? And I'm just like, that team, the Titans have so many more problems than just the quarterback. The quarterback's a problem, but they're not good off just the quarterback. They need a lot more.
Right. Yeah.
Now, mind you, it does open up the door for them if they did sign Stafford. It does open up the door. It green lights them to just draft Abdul Carter. Now, that would be nice.
You love Abdul Carter.
I think he's like the only lock amazing player in this draft. That's like obviously he's going to be really good.
Number 11 out of Penn State. Do you think he's better than Micah coming out?
I mean, I think he's more highly touted than Micah as far as like people think more highly of him right now in the draft than they did of Micah at the time. But I'm not going to say he's going to be better than Micah because that's a really high bar to clear. Like you're just talking a top 5 defender in the NFL right now.
In his first 4 years, yeah.
Immediately.
I think Micah also had the 2 position thing. He could play linebacker and he could play, which maybe Carter can. I honestly, I'm not going to lie. These are athletes. If they can, technicality, they're different positions. Obviously, I get that. You have to learn it. But like, if you can play DN, you can play outside linebacker. Because depending on the defense, they're the same position.
Yeah.
But anyway, third team, the Cleveland Browns.
Oof.
Jerry Jeudy?
Ooh. I mean, it would be. I'll put them at 3. Let's go 3 because I think that they have better offensive weapons. and like they have a better offensive. They have, Stefanski. I think would instantly be able to build something around Stafford and do something. But I just hate the idea of Matthew Stafford going to the Browns. You might as well retire at that point. They're like, we're gonna trade you to Cleveland. I'm out. Actually, I'm good, guys. I'm hanging it up. Nunzo.
This fourth one was an interesting one that I saw. The Indianapolis Colts.
See, that's interesting. That's an interesting one with Steichen. You know what? That might be my 2. I might go 2 for that. Okay. Steichen, some solid receivers, great
Pittman,
running
Josh
back.
Downs. Oh, they got Jonathan Taylor. Oh, yeah.
Right, you have a great running back, solid receivers, like a decent O-line. Not great, but fine. Yeah, and then a really great offensive schemer that has been hampered by a quarterback that can't throw. So I wanted Anthony Richardson to be good, man. I really did. I believed in him. I really wanted him to be good, but below 50% completion percentage,
didn't you pick him in fantasy his rookie year?
No.
Ah, damn.
I wanted to, I think, but I don't think I've ever had him on my team.
Yeah, no, he was supposed to be real good. We'll see. There's still time. I mean, he's young, but
there's still time. He's still young, but I think
you only get so much time because he's got time.
Yeah,
the team doesn't have time. So
he needs to learn. It might be best for him. It'd be weird, but it might be best for him to just be like, you are sitting behind a winner, champion, great player. Learn from him.
Right, or go to like the 49ers, or like a Kyle Shanahan, or the Rams with like a McVay. They could possibly unlock something from him.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Okay. Team number 5, the New York Giants.
I was saving my 6 for this one. 6. Oh my God! God bless Matt Stafford and his career if he goes there. I mean,
worse than the Titans, worse than the Browns.
Yeah, I think, and look, they have neighbors, and that's fine. That's cool. That's it. That's all they've got. They have Malik Neighbors, and then they have when for homecoming games,
yep,
like the cheerleaders will come out on the field and they'll hold up the giant banner and the team will run through it. That's the Giants' offensive line. Matt Stafford will die. That banner is the Giants' offensive line. So I'm like, no way. There is no upward mobility there. You are at best the third best team in your division with Matt Stafford at under center at the Giants. At best, you are the third, and probably you're probably 4 because I don't think the Cowboys will be as bad this season as they were last season.
Right.
So, yeah, that's just pitiful. No shot.
Malik Neighbors is good, but
yeah,
what good does a sports car do you if you live in Alaska?
It's not enough. So what's number 4?
Number 4. That leaves us with the Las Vegas Raiders.
I don't hate that. That's fine. Yeah, better than the Titans. You're on a team. You got Pete Carroll. You got a good coach. You've got Brock Bowers. You've got. It's not great. I might have switched the Raiders and the Titans. Otherwise, I'm happy with that list.
Okay. That leaves us with the Steelers, number 1, Colts 2, Browns 3, Raiders 4, Titans 5, Giants 6.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I don't hate that list. That's not bad. I think, like I said, if I could change anything, I would switch the Titans and the Raiders. But that's not bad.
No, I mean, we all know which one you're rooting for.
Yeah, I'd be totally fine with that, just to have a decent QB for a little bit.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I think it would be cool. I think out of all, if I picture him in all the different jerseys, I think he does look best in a Steelers jersey.
Yeah, it would be funny if you went to the Colts though, and the Colts are just like, we have had a different quarterback every year for like 6 years now. We
They
just keep on bringing dudes in.
they might as well at this point just decide they're just gonna forever get quarterbacks that are good at the end of their careers for 3 years.
Yeah, it'd be the most on brand for it to be the Colts. But I think I kind of agree with you though. I do think he would look best in a Steelers jersey.
Right,
When you
like I
picture him in
picture,
the other ones,
like I know Browns are 3, but like when I picture him in a Browns jersey, I'm just like that looks ugly to me.
ugly.
Ugly.
Picturing anyone in a Browns jersey is ugly. You don't like the only person that ever looked okay in a Browns jersey was Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Baker Mayfield made being a Brown cool. Look at that.
Yeah, he did. Everyone else, it looks ugly as hell. I mean, even Myles Garrett is sick of it.
He's done. He's done. But now it's time for my favorite segment, Fourth and Goal. A winner takes all trivia showdown where 2 couch coaches enter and one is crowned victorious. Now I got quarters, Johnny. I got quarters galore. So we're gonna
Yeah, you can flip it.
We're gonna take your pick here, Johnny. Do you want to flip? Now pick whatever one was the last time the Knicks were good. Oh, both of them. Do you want to do 1986 or do you want to do 1995?
Let's do 95. Let's go 95. Let's go Ewing. Let's go prime Ewing. Let's do it.
The year after they were in the finals.
Let's do it.
All right. So I'm going to flip it. And unlike last time, and unlike any time you've done it, I'm going to be like a referee. I'm going to catch it. Hopefully. All right, here we go.
Well, I've been doing it because I have one hand, so I'm catching it, and then like I'm catching it and then putting it right here, and then I'm like holding it like this in place.
My man said to let it roll across the kitchen, and I'll go pick it up and look at what it is.
Yeah.
No. All right.
I'm calling it on the hand. It just slides off heads.
All right, hold on. Before I reveal what this is, are you in the group of people that picks it up at what it is, or you pick it up and then you flip it on your hand and that's what it is? Because those are 2 different groups of people. You know what I'm talking about?
I catch the thing, I don't see it, and you put it on your hand, and that's what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I do. But
Heads or tails, Johnny?
heads.
I'm going to reflip. It's bad juju to use an old flip for a new call. All right. Motherfucker. It's heads.
All right, let's go. I'm going to kick the question.
Yeah, I figured.
Always. You don't even have to ask. So it was Knicks. You were asking me Knicks question, and I'm asking you Jazz questions, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Perfect.
Yes, sir. No more, what's the word they use in those shows? I don't know. Fuck it. Multiverse. No more multiverse.
Yeah, no more multiverse.
we're
You are
going
asking me New York Knicks. I'm asking you Jazz.
So anyway.
Perfect.
Question number 1, Johnny. Which NBA player was known for tormenting the Knicks in the 90s playoffs?
Now that would be Reggie Miller. I know that.
See, I thought you were going to be like, no, asking me more questions from the 90s.
No, Reggie Miller. I know that.
Yeah, you are correct. Oh, the choke? Yeah, he did.
I know. I know about that.
He did do that. You are correct.
Because he tormented us in these playoffs as well, the most recent playoffs when we lost to the Pacers again. He was tormenting us.
7-0.
Okay. Where was Jazz created?
Where was the Utah Jazz created?
Yeah, where was it?
Like what? Like where
What
were they?
city?
Where were they originally made?
And what city was Jazz created in?
The music genre?
I just said the Jazz. What city was Jazz?
Okay, well it's this. No, you're not saying what city were the Jazz created. You said what city was Jazz created. That's a big difference.
That's what I said. Yeah,
that's a big difference. That's not even a basketball question.
There isn't a difference actually.
No, it's not a difference. It's New Orleans.
Yeah.
Because
New Orleans, correct.
The Utah Jazz were in New Orleans, and they were named after the most famous music in New Orleans at the time, which was jazz.
Yeah, of course, and it was created there. Man. Of course.
Come on, man. He tried to stump me. He tried to stump me.
Come with that jazz.
Question number 2, 7-7. Mm-hmm. What is the most wins the Knicks have ever had in a season. And now I will give you a plus or minus of 2.
You're saying what's the most wins the Knicks have ever had in a season?
Regular season.
Regular season, right? Okay. I'm gonna say 56.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
The answer is 60.
60, okay.
In 92-93 and in 69-70. One of those.
You know, I could never think of a season we had like high 60s in. So, okay. I'm okay with that. That was close.
Nah, you were close. I almost did plus or minus 5. You would have got it done.
Yeah, that'd be too much, I think.
Well, because I was like, with how low the number is, I was like, 5 seems like too much. I was like,
yeah, no, that's fair. Okay, Knicks versus Jazz. Let's see. Okay, question number 2. Are you ready?
oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm locked and loaded.
In a Sentimental Mood is a somber collaboration between John Coltrane and which legendary jazz pianist?
Yo, did this man look up 10 jazz questions and he didn't do Utah Jazz? Am I about to have to answer 10 fucking jazz questions? This is crazy. This is crazy.
You said jazz questions.
Oh,
I thought you wanted me to ask you jazz questions.
I literally said jazz questions. I didn't say Utah. It's some bullshit.
I made sure too. I made sure you didn't say Utah Jazz.
Oh, it's some bullshit.
Because I really went, am I really going to have to look up a bunch of Utah Jazz questions? But they're all easy. They're all like, they're not like deep. They're not. None of these are deep, knowledgeable jazz questions. These are all very surface level. Only the greats, only the ones that most people know. So,
I'm not most people. Ask me the question.
In a sentimental mood.
Yep.
That's the name of the song. Is a collaboration between John Coltrane and which legendary jazz pianist? This is also my favorite jazz song, by the way.
Oh, okay.
But it's a very famous song. You've definitely at least heard the song before.
Stevie Wonder.
Jazz pianist.
What does he do?
You do know this person. You are aware of this person's name. 100%.
Aretha Franklin.
So your final answer?
Man, I don't know any fucking jazz pianists. Yeah, Aretha Franklin.
Duke Ellington.
Oh, motherfucker!
Duke Ellington.
I do know Duke.
Yeah. Trust me, I think you know every single name on here. They're all very famous.
Man, I was thinking too deep.
Mm-hmm.
You're about to sweep my shit.
All right,
though.
your turn.
Fuck.
Your turn.
Question number 3. I don't even feel bad about these questions I'm asking anymore. Question number 3. Who was the Knicks' top rebounder in the 1999 NBA Finals?
In the 1999 NBA Finals, okay. I guess
I'm sure you were watching it real close at the age of 2.
Yeah, one would think Pat Ewing. You would think Patrick Ewing.
In 99? That nigga
was he retired by then?
Bro, there's no way he was playing in 99, bro. That nigga
Pretty sure he was still playing
in the 80s.
Patrick Ewing was still on the team though in the 90s. He did play in the 80s, but he was old. He was an old man.
I will say this. I know he was in the 94 finals. I don't know about the next 5 years.
Yeah, I think he was still an old ass man, but maybe it wasn't Ewing. Let's go. What was it? Was that when Charles Oakley was on the team?
I'll say this. I'll give you a hint. It's not much of a hint because every NBA player pretty much has this happen to him. He's name dropped in a rap song.
Yeah. Leading.
Might be a Jay-Z song too.
Leading rebounder in the 99 finals. Could it? I'm just trying to even think of who was on that team at the time. It's such like a weird middle point.
You're gonna be so mad when I tell you.
Am I?
I mean, probably not. You probably wouldn't have guessed it, but you'll know who it is.
Yeah, I really am not sure. I mean, was Marcus Camby on the team at that time?
Just think of prominent big men. You got 10 seconds.
Yeah. Man. Prominent big men. Let's just
and
go.
I don't mean like famous. I just mean like big names.
Yeah. I'm just gonna punt. I'm gonna punt it. What is it?
Take a guess. Go with your gut, Johnny.
Knicks?
Johnny, go with your
Charles.
gut.
What was it?
Marcus Camby. You said
Well, it was
it.
Marcus Camby.
You said
okay.
it.
That's crazy.
Marcus Camby. I don't know if it's a Jay-Z song, but he was definitely name dropped in some.
Marcus Camby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He and it was crazy. In that whole finals, he had like 60 rebounds, 40. That's like 40 maybe. I just remember seeing the number and I was like, that is low. Like I don't know. They must not have missed no shots back then. All layups. But hit me with that question, and I'm a re-up and plug in on my Jazz knowledge.
Yeah.
My years.
Yeah, Charles Oakley was not on the team in the '99 season. Still in the league, but he wasn't on the team anymore. I was like, I don't know. Did he have like a late stint in it?
Honestly, I know Charles Oakley more as that dude who got into altercations in the crowd as I know him as a player.
Charles Oakley is the guy that's banned from the Garden because James Dolan hates him. All right. Man, it was Marcus Camby. That's so upsetting. I even said you shouldn't have said go with your gut, like, because that made me go, like the first person I said.
Oh, I figured. I wasn't going to tell you go with the last person you said. That would have been too obvious.
No, I know. If you had maybe said you've already said his name, then I think I might have said Marcus Camby. Okay. Let's do a more recent thing.
More recent? They make jazz still?
Of course they do. What modern jazz artist did Kendrick Lamar shout out in the opening bars of Squabble Up?
Oh, it's that girl. She's in the song.
No.
Oh, it's not that girl?
Hey, it's a guy. It's a guy. He shouts out a man.
Oops.
In the opening bars, very early, first few bars of the song, he shouts out.
All I remember is Squabble Up. Squabble Up.
Earlier than Squabble Up. Before he even says Squabble Up.
Motherfucker.
And I'll give you a field goal if you just know the first name.
The first name? Is it a common name?
No, but he shouts this person out by name.
Can I go play the song real quick?
No. If you just know the first few lines of it, you can get it.
I told you, the only thing I know is Squabble Up. Squabble Up.
Woke up looking for the broccoli.
Nah, doesn't ring a bell.
High key, keep the horn on me.
Oh, that part. Well, Irene. No, that's a girl. Hold on. Hakeem.
Final answer?
Yeah, I guess. I gotta go.
Keep the horn on me. That Kamasi.
Oh, Kamasi?
Kamasi, Washington.
Oh my god, wait, hold on. Kamasi, Washington. Isn't that that one song. Run to the devil. You know what I'm talking about? From like the devil to the rock to the water and the sea.
No. That's
that's
an old one. That's Nina Simone. That's my favorite song ever.
Oh, John.
That's my favorite song ever.
You got me on that song.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Kamasi Washington.
Yeah, Nina Simone Center, man.
I feel like
She's
showed
long
me,
dead.
You showed me a Kamasi Washington song at some point. Hold on, let me go check. Nah.
Maybe Fists of Fury is one that, if you look up, Fists of Fury is a really good one that goes dun 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 dun.
Well, I'm gonna check my library because I know if it's in my library, I've listened to it. I have Truth by Kamasi Washington in 2017, and then I have the album The Epic from 2015. But I don't think I listened to any of that album.
Yeah, his. Kamasi Washington.
Yes, I found Kamasi Washington. You know when this was? I found Kamasi Washington back when I was in my my era of listening to music with no words.
Like
I was listening to it.
Some of his music has words still, but he brings in singers and stuff. But he's a great composer.
Or like where it was like mainly no word. But you know what I'm talking about? Like where I was like, I just want to hear like almost like cinematic stuff. Like I didn't want to hear like rapping and shit. Like I wanted to just hear.
I am a decent jazz fan. I am a pretty like I do like jazz. I listen to jazz a lot.
If you want to get focused, but you don't want to like you feel like sometimes that the hip hop stuff is too much to focus with, dude. Classical music is my go-to.
No, yeah. If I'm working, I don't put on music with lyrics in it.
Some Mozart.
Yeah. I don't go Mozart. I go. I'm like more like Tchaikovsky. I like stuff that's like either Tchaikovsky if I'm feeling like in a dark mood, if I'm feeling like edgy, or I'll go Bach if I'm feeling like breezy and upbeat. Like,
see, admittedly, like, I'll shuffle a playlist, so I'll get some artists I never heard of. But nah, look at that, we're cultured.
Of course, very cultured.
Oh man,
I didn't look up any of these. These are just like easy jazz questions that I knew off the dome. I was like, I know this shit.
That's crazy.
Because I'm like, I like jazz. I listen to it.
Okay, question number 4. 7-7 still. Who was the shortest player to ever play for the Knicks post 2000?
Shortest player to play for the Knicks post 2000. Interesting. I don't think Muggsy ever played for us, so I'm not gonna. I don't think
he wasn't post 2000.
Yeah, I don't think. Who's a short dude that played for the Knicks? Man, that's a tough one. Trying to think of I'm thinking through our point guards of who I can remember.
How do you know it's not a center?
Making sure. Yeah, I know. God, it's gonna be just some bullshit player that was in the early 2000s or something that I'm not remembering. It has to be.
You're gonna know exactly who it is when I tell you to.
Really?
Yeah, you'll be like, damn it, man.
Let's go Mike Bibby.
Ooh, that's not a terrible guess, but it is incorrect. It is Nate Robinson.
Oh, damn! I forgot Nate Robinson played for the Knicks. Yep, that's so stupid.
And he was actually there.
Nate Robinson did definitely play for the Knicks.
2006 to 2010.
Yeah, that's so stupid. I should have known that too. That's so dumb.
See,
fuck me, Nate Robinson. Yep.
I had to clarify post 2000s. I thought he was the shortest of all time, but then I looked back and there was not by much. I mean, he's 5'9", and there's dudes 5'8". There was 20 dudes 5'9", 20 dudes 5'8", and they separated them by centimeters. That's how close they were in height.
That's funny.
Or meters or whatever. But yeah, there were some 5'8" players for the Knicks back in the 60s and 80s. But so yeah, gotcha. post 2000, Nate Robinson. Hit me with that question. I'm about to take the lead.
All right.
About to take the lead.
Here's one. Let's see if you can do it, right?
Yep. I'm locked in.
Who performed the famous saxophone rendition of Julie Andrews' My Favorite Things? So you know the song My Favorite Things?
Sure.
It's okay. My Favorite Things is
sing it for me.
Roses and roses and kisses.
Oh, yes. It's a Christmas song, isn't it? That's a Christmas song.
Up in string. No, it's from The Sound of Music.
These are
a few of my favorite things. Yeah,
it's a Christmas song.
No, it's from The Sound of Music.
Wait, that's the same song with hold on. What's it called? Huh? The Expialidocious song?
No, that's Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious is from Mary Poppins.
Damn, man.
Different. Different movie.
Man, getting my white ladies mixed up. Anyway,
Different movie. Yeah.
Oh,
Actually, I think it's the same white lady. Let me make sure I'm not completely crazy. I'm pretty sure Mary Poppins is
no, listen, if it's the same white lady, that means I'm not crazy. So thank you. I'm trying to think.
Let me check.
So it was in that song. It was in that movie, Sound of Music, and it was a rendition.
Yes, it's the same white lady.
It's the same white lady? Oh, let's go. I know I don't.
It is Julie Andrews. I was like, I'm pretty sure Mary Poppins is also Julie.
She's huge, isn't she? She's a big, big.
What do you like famous big?
I mean, like she's like no, not size. God damn. Nah, I'm not out here fat shaming. I'm saying she's like
huge. She was like one of the most famous people in the world at her time. Yeah.
Crazy. How old is she now?
She gotta be dead now.
Dead. All right.
She gotta be dead.
R.I.P. to
Julie Andrews. There's no way. Is Julie Andrews alive? There's no shot. Julie Andrews is alive. Shout out to her. Good job, Julie Andrews.
Alive and still kicking.
Alive, still hanging out.
Kicking.
Yeah, anyway, she's still out here.
The question. It was a rendition of that. So was it the person who did it for the movie, or was it somebody who did a cover of it after the movie?
It is somebody who did it. The saxophone cover of it after the movie.
And you knew this off. You knew this off your dome. Yeah,
it's the most. It might be this artist's most famous song.
You must be a bigger jazz fan than I thought. God damn.
If not their most famous, it's one of them. But this might be the most famous. Here's what I'll give you. This might be the most famous saxophone player ever.
Oh man, that
very arguably, you could make the argument that this might be the most famous saxophone player ever. Oh no, wait. Like old school, like not Kenny G, like not Kenny G.
Okay,
not Kenny G. Okay, because I said it and then you went and I went whoa, hold on, because I know people think Kenny G.
Did Ray Charles play the saxophone?
No, Ray Charles was a pianist. He played the piano.
Oh. But piano and saxophone can both be jazz.
Yeah.
Man, what a world. Okay.
And trumpet. I mean, Miles Davis was a trumpet player.
Can violin be jazz?
Not normally. I mean, it can. You can use it in.
But it's more classical, though. It's probably more classical.
Yeah, it's like the main. Like you can use any instrument in jazz. It's just like a composition thing. But like the main jazz instruments are saxophone, the brass section, but mostly trumpet and piano then there is jazz guitar, but not as much.
Saxophone players, and it's not Stevie Wonder, it's not Ray Charles, it's not Kenny G. Young Thug? No, I'm just kidding.
Young Thug.
Slime. No, I would say Pump, but like I guess a guess that I think is wrong is better than no guess at all. So, all right, saxophone player, second most famous all time. Who sings "Wonderful World"? What a wonderful world.
That would be Louis Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong.
Who is a final answer?
Yes.
Who is a very famous trumpet player.
He played trumpet.
He did play trumpet. This is John Coltrane.
You already named him. Yeah, I'm not.
I have named him already.
When you said his name earlier, the first thing I said in my head is, "Who the is that?"
You never heard of John Coltrane? Oh man.
No, when you said John Coltrane, my head just said Soul Train.
That's so funny. No, John Coltrane, he's great. Excellent. One of my favorites.
Good.
I mean, he's one of the greatest to ever do it, but
it's 7-7. And you know what? And you know what?
You're going to start asking me questions about pants?
You know what, Johnny? I'm going to be real with you. Normally, I would try to give you the hardest brain stumper questions in the world. You know? But someone's got to win this.
Yeah.
And I know jazz as much as... Yeah, nothing. So, the point is this. I'm going to give you the fifth question. It's a layup. It was meant for overtime. But I just want to hear you say it for the people, Johnny. I just want to hear you say it for the people.
I think I already know what this question's going to be. All right, let's hear it.
Which international player did the Knicks draft in 2015?
Okay. I mean, I never heard of the country he's from. I never even heard of Latvia. I really haven't. Talking about Tingus Pingus.
Tingus
Tingus
Pingus!
Pingus!
Who the fuck is Tingus Pingus?
I never heard of Latvia. Of course. Oh man.
God.
All right, just so we can get this over
14
with.
seconds. Oh, thanks. He's like, so we can end
this.
it. I'm going to ask you a question you have no fucking clue about.
Yeah, of course. Should I give you one that okay. I'm trying to think of this one that you couldn't even look into guessing.
Give me one that if you were going against your mother, you would give her.
My mother? I love my
Yeah.
mother.
Yeah, I would hope you feel the same about me.
Okay. Okay, here's one. Who described her which jazz music legend?
Yep.
Music/jazz
John Legend.
Described herself as a jazz pianist who was forced to sing.
What jazz legend described herself as a pianist that was forced
to sing?
Okay, well, we got to unpack this. Like, is she saying metaphorically, or was she physically forced to sing? Because that's a whole different issue.
Her record label wanted her to sing.
Okay, so
she never wanted to sing, but her record label wanted her to.
I just want to get it off my conscience before I get the answer wrong, that I just know she wasn't anything physical. Okay. Because I'm not going to get this answer. And I apologize to this lady for that, because I should know this, and I let the people down tonight. I wanted to go for a four-peat. It's never been done in any sport. Never been done.
Yeah, and I kind of cheated, but I misunderstood the prompt. He told me to ask him jazz questions.
I misunderstood.
I didn't realize.
So you know, I let the people down. Four-peat's not going to happen. I got to start over again. But the answer to this question is going to be... I really searched deep within. Ooh, man.
He's thinking, folks.
It's going to be Lillian Desiree.
Unfortunately, it is another name that we have already brought up.
Kamasi Washington? No, it's...
Nina Simone.
Oh! You know what's crazy? Whatever name I just said is not a real name of a person.
I didn't think it was either. I'm like, does he know somebody I don't know? Would you say Lillian Desiree?
Yeah.
It's a crazy fake name to pull out of nowhere. Can you imagine if you were right? You're like, Lillian Desiree, how the fuck?
Bro,
That's right.
I would have got up into the victory lap. You know what's funny? If you gaslighted me, if you knew I was making it up and you gaslighted me and you were like, how did you do that?
If I knew that was a completely made up name, I would have done that. But I was like, for a moment, I was like, is that a name I've never heard before? Like, who is this? Lillian Desiree?
Because I would have been so happy, and you would have been like, nah, psych. But anyway, 14-7, you end my chance at a four-peat on a Tingus Pingus game winner.
Tingus Pingus game winner. That's the best game winner ever.
Johnny wins.
Jazz questions.
14-7. But you know what? The good thing about this segment is when you win this segment, you don't get to talk your shit.
No talking shit.
No talking your shit.
No, that was a slimy way to win. That was kind of like Chris Paul and Wembanyama throwing the balls in the skills competition.
I think it's crazy because your first question, you didn't even try to because you could have came in with any of those other questions first, But your first question happened to be the only one that made it sound like it was jazz and basketball.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, I get it." Like, yeah, like
yeah. I
and
was.
then
I was.
and then you asked me the
around.
second question, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, is this ninja asking me jazz questions?" It's like, nah.
I was goofing around a little bit. I was being a little cheeky.
Nah. But anyway, for our last segment, Johnny, we're gonna wrap up with this segment tonight, because as we talked about, congratulations to Kyrie Irving for getting a dub in the last All-Star game that's ever gonna be played. Because next year, you heard it here first, folks. It's gonna be a one-on-one tournament, and we're also gonna announce the winner of the 2026 NBA one-on-one tournament in this segment. This segment, as y'all know, DTF, deeper than film, because Johnny and I felt that sometimes you got to get DTF to truly see the full landscape of the sports world. So take it away, Johnny. We got our 16 competitors. Let's see who
Got them right here. We see this.
I don't know. Do you see it?
I see it. I don't know if you do.
That's good enough for me. No, I'm shit.
Okay.
Yeah, we got
so we
it.
can see our bracket here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I seeded this based off of 2K ratings. All right. So this is, Jokic being the 1 seed.
Hold up.
Ja being the...
You seeded it off 2K ratings?
Off the seeding, just off of...
That's wild work, but carry on.
Well, what else? What other metric would you use to seed them?
I don't know, personal bias.
Exactly. So I felt like... Oh, there is a little bit of personal bias in this, by the way. Because I removed a couple of players that I thought would be boring to add in. Well, okay. I removed one player that you can probably look and guess immediately who I removed. One that I'm openly not a fan of.
Okay, well, Tatum's on there.
Yeah. No, this is somebody who wasn't in the All-Star game this year and probably won't be in again next year based off track record.
Is it Norman Powell?
No, it's Joel Embiid.
Oh,
so I didn't...
He's not going to win this.
Right, so I didn't put Joel Embiid on here because I thought I'm not going to trust that he'll be here.
He'll be hurt.
I also didn't put in Devin Booker because I thought that would be boring. So pretty much if I just did the top 16 while removing Embiid, there wouldn't have been Ja Morant and there wouldn't have been Kyrie Irving. And I didn't like that. So this might be disrespectful. I'm sorry. But I wanted Ja in here and I wanted Kyrie in here. So I removed Jaylen Brown and Devin Booker.
You know what's hilarious?
Yeah.
At least in this tournament, Devin Booker can't complain about double teams.
Right. So I removed them. I'm sorry to anybody that loves Jaylen Brown and Devin Booker. I'm sorry. I know that they were good enough to make it.
Hold on. You got Luka? Oh, I already know who's winning.
Yes. Luka's on there. Everything else is just seeded off of 2K rating as far as everything else, which actually created some very interesting matchups. So let's just get right into it.
Yep.
Our first matchup, the 1 versus 16, Ja Morant versus Nikola Jokic. What do we think about this?
Ooh.
We're saying this is a game to 11.
Yep.
And we have to determine right now. Is it make it take it?
You already knew. Knew.
What do we think?
Because make it take it is key. Like that make it or take it will literally determine.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no because that's a boring TV product.
Yeah, no,
that they would want every player to have a chance with it.
Well, they don't do that in real life. Like for like the game. I don't know. I get it. It's 1-on-1, but no make it take. No make it take it.
So it's not make it take it. It's first to 11.
And if it's not make it take it, I'm sorry.
And it's 1 point, 2 points. That's what we're doing.
My early inclination, like I'm just thinking like 2K, black court, black top. Like I feel like Jokic dominates this.
I kind of agree. I think he could stop Ja on a couple 1 or 2 possessions, but at the end of the day, Ja cannot stop Jokic. I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, well, his main thing, dunking is his thing, right? Like, and Jokic is
Right.
big enough to, even if he's not a great defender, quote unquote, to get in the way of some of that. But like, I don't see John Morant guarding him on a pull up three. That like.
So then on to the next one. I find this matchup very interesting. Not only is it KD versus AD, that's just fun, but I think this matchup particularly is just fun. That's like two guys that are roughly the same height. One who's amazing at offense, one who's amazing at defense, who are roughly, KD's a little older than AD, but they're like in vaguely similar age groups. I think this is a fun matchup. What do we think?
That's tough. I mean, it honestly could be a toss up. But
I lean towards Kevin Durant on this one. I think his bag is too deep.
Well, yeah. Plus, it's a question of like, does AD have the quickness? I mean, AD's not slow, but like, and Kevin Durant's not fast. But like,
Kevin Durant's a good defender too.
In quickness, that's true.
Yeah,
he proved.
I think that Kevin Durant is a good defender. So I think
like this: like, if you go like AD's defense, KD's offense is a wash. KD's defense beats AD's offense.
I would say so too. So I think we say Kevin Durant at this point in his career, I think is walking away with that one.
Setting up a KD Jokic matchup in the next round.
This is a fun one too. Just now, do I think it's very close?
No,
not necessarily.
No,
but it's a fun idea. It's a fun idea to be like the two, former teammates both went on to new teams.
Both said "fuck you, Dallas."
Of course, but I thought that was a fun thing. Here's another fun.
I like how you didn't even ask me. You just were like, "I already know."
Yeah, come on. I'm not gonna. I love Jalen, bro, but he's not better. He's not beating Luka 1-on-1. That's just not happening.
Yeah. That might be the biggest mismatch out of the whole of the matchups.
Yeah, LeBron versus Wemby is really cool. That this is how the seeding worked out.
That's tough because LeBron. Because if you think about this at a base level, like forget everything else, forget matchups and who's playing who. Your first thought is like LeBron might probably take that tournament, like. But then you consider first round a matchup with Wemby. It's like older LeBron versus a young, quick Wemby. All right, hold on. Is it Wemby before the blood clots?
Let's say it's this year as they are healthy.
Before the blood clots or after the
let's just healthy. Right. We're saying like what we have seen. We're not going to prognosticate what Wemby or LeBron will be like next year. Let's just take this year who they are, but healthy.
Oh man, that's so tough because
it's a really tough one. I still don't even know what I think because I go, it is LeBron James. It's LeBron.
I don't know if I ever want to pick against the GOAT. Like
right, but then you're like,
Wemby could block every shot.
Wemby could literally block every shot.
Like he literally could block every shot.
But I think that LeBron could overpower Wemby on a couple of possessions.
Yeah.
Could like just dunk it right on him.
I mean, if he hits him with that little look down at the palm pull up.
Yeah, the the LeBron bullshit 3. We all love that. The bullshit.
That's that old man when the old man's he goes super slow and then speeds up real quick to get that cut pass. You're like, man, this motherfucker was jogging. All of a sudden he's sprinting.
Yeah. It's upsetting because I want both of these guys to go on further in the tournament.
Like nobody should lose in the first round in this match.
Yeah, but hey, man, this is how the seeding worked. This is what 2K said.
Oh man, did 2K tell us who would win?
No. I just went off the top. I just seeded it based on the best ratings.
Bro, you gotta sim the black court first so we know. It's funny. I keep calling it black court. It's black top. Anyway.
Yeah.
LeBron Wemby. I think it's a coin toss.
I think it's LeBron. I'm gonna say I think it's.
I'm gonna defer because like I don't want to be biased, but I can't vote against the GOAT.
Yeah, I think we just have to go LeBron. If it's next year, maybe. Oh, that's so much more fun anyway. Look at that.
Look at crazy. That.
All right.
Ooh.
This is an interesting matchup. Giannis versus Kyrie. You've got maybe the most physically gifted player in the NBA versus maybe the most talented player in the NBA. The most like that if
Bro, no. No. This is
I know. I know.
So just picture
it's a defensive problem.
Picture Giannis with that mean mug on his face as he takes fucking 3 steps to get all the way up the court. Like, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Now here's a fun one. This one I think is more about mentality. This is like
Ant's gonna win this.
Yeah, I think so.
He's got the killer. Tatum doesn't have that killer in him. I'm sorry.
No,
Tatum is amazing. Tatum is amazing. Tatum is better than Ant. But like,
I kind of agree. It's like he's a better player, but like I don't think you're that guy though.
Listen, if my family is held hostage and I need someone to kill for my family, I'm not calling Tatum. I'm
going Iguodala.
I'm calling Ant, bro. And in 1-on-1, you got to be a killer because like 1-on-1 is personal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
now we got the battle of the initials. The initial based nickname.
SGA and KAT.
Yeah.
I'm probably the first person to ever call him KAT. But anyway.
Yeah. SGA and Cat. The three-part name initials players. What do we think here? I mean, this is one of the weirder ones where it's like obviously SGA is the better player.
Well, here's my
and he
question.
Can probably get by Cat, but like can SGA stop Cat even once?
Right. Well, here's my question though. Like, we have to figure out a criteria. Okay, because size is going to beat speed almost every time until the speed surpasses the opponent's speed so much that size is no longer a factor. You see what I'm saying? So like, if their quickness and their speed is somewhat even like 30% within each other, 40%, like the size is probably going to win. But if like one dude is just so quick, like that dude, the other dude can't even keep up. Like I think of like Dwight Howard. I think of like Dwight Howard in 2K12. Like he would dunk on you all day long. But if you could tap that X button or that D square anywhere near Dwight Howard, you were picking his pocket 9 out of 10 times.
Well, that's the thing where I'm like, do I think that...
But Cat has handles, though, doesn't he? Like Cat
he does. He's a better handler. Like I think, honestly, this is weird, but I think like Kyrie would have a better time beating Cat than SGA would. Does this make sense? In the sense, like, I think Kyrie, like, would be able to cross him up and get him confused and, like, get him moving and leaving Kyrie open more than SGA would.
Yeah, and I think a lot of SGA's not discrediting anything he's done. Obviously, like, he's a great, phenomenal player, top 5 player in the league right now. But it's
he's so good because of like court positioning.
What he does is he takes advantage of his size difference on his position.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Like his moves where he does some of those steps, those stepaways, those bank shots, those crazy shots, he's not going to have the same separation that he usually gets against Cat as he would get against a player who's his same position but 4 to 5 inches shorter.
Let's be blasphemous. Let's do it. Cat beats SGA. Let's do it.
Again, he's not a better player, but 1-on-1 is different.
Yeah.
1-on-1 is different.
All right.
Ooh.
Steph versus Donnie is an interesting one. Because there is just this bullshit version of Steph that shows up sometimes that kind of showed up in the All-Star game where like and it showed up in the Olympics too. Like sometimes if it's like a game that isn't like the NBA that like he doesn't take as serious, he's just like, all right, it's me. I'm Steph Curry. I'm going to shoot a 3 from anywhere that I want, and it will go in every single time, and fuck you. Like, you can't do anything about it. But...
Right. No, Steph is crazy. I mean, there's not going to be a lick of defense played in this game. I'll tell you that.
I think, honestly, Donnie, though, I might have to give it to him off pure athletic ability.
Yeah, I mean,
If it was prime Steph, then I would give it to Steph. But
well, it's tough too because you got to think, Steph, at least prime Steph. A lot of his stuff was what made him great is he's super mobile without the ball in his hands.
he's a really underrated ball handler, though.
Well,
too.
no, he's a great ball handler. Trust me.
Yeah.
I saw Chris Paul. I saw the highlight.
Yeah.
but I'm saying though, like what really makes him different is like you're like, bro, I have to follow this dude everywhere, and if I don't even move a step right after he does, he's wide open for three. Versus like guarding him on the pull up. I mean, I guess it depends because you can't really pull up from half court in a one-on-one game when you're taking it up at the 3-point line.
And by the way, update 92-91 Lakers.
It's that close?
That close with 5 minutes left in the fourth.
Damn. Well, we're either both going to be wrong or both going to be right.
Yeah. But, all right. So
second round.
Jokic,
second
KD.
Round. Jokic, KD.
I gotta be honest, man. This one is very easy to me. I feel like I just have this. I feel like I just know.
When you say it's easy, I know who you're gonna pick. Because if it was KD, it'd be a debate.
Really? Because I'm picking KD.
Oh shit! Wait, what? Hold on. You gotta recap that. Why do you think that?
Once again, I think we're talking. What makes Jokic so great as a player?
His passing
ability. Court vision. Basketball IQ, assisting, passing.
All things that are eliminated one-on-one.
Exactly. What makes KD great as a player? Everything that matters in a one-on-one game. Like having a bag at literally any point on the court, no matter where you are.
Yeah, I guess you could argue if we take away all their assists and look at their stats, how do we view them?
Yeah. And I think that makes it KD, and I think that one might answer this.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Listen to me right now. I hate to do it, man. I love the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's anyone I'm picking over the GOAT, it's Luka. It's Luka. Come on now.
Like I said, what makes LeBron great is eliminated in a one-on-one tournament. And that's the only issue. This is a fun one.
Giannis and Ant.
Just an absolutely explosive athletic game.
Ant's shorter, but he's a little bit, he's thicker than most people in his position. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as, like, body size, I think he can, as far as guards go, I guess he's a small forward, but really, he's a big guard to me. I mean, he's shooting guard, isn't he? He plays kind of both, but my thing is,
he plays mostly.
I think out of the guard / forward position, he's the one that probably, outside of LeBron, can size-wise keep up with Giannis the most.
I just think Giannis is such a defensive problem for people in this tournament. That's his like he'll be able to get to the hoop, obviously, but it's a defensive matchup more than anything. I think that's why you give the edge to him.
Yeah.
I love Ant, but I don't know how you...
Yeah, and if Giannis didn't bring the ball up most of the time, I'd maybe, but like he also handles. But that's the thing.
Yeah.
I saw Giannis do 3 steps side to side and dunk from the fucking almost half court, bro. When I saw that, I was like, yeah, it's a wrap. Like, this nigga can do anything he wants. Like, how does he just not
Karl-Anthony Towns...
And Donovan
Mitchell.
Well, we already saw how that went a couple of days ago, but no. Anyway, I'm never gonna stop shitting on you for that. Anyway, Cat Donnie.
This guy, you're just really living vicariously through another team.
I'm living.
So
it was funny. I'm living through your Knicks pain as if my Jazz aren't way worse.
I know.
From this conversation, you wouldn't know the Jazz are worse than the Knicks.
Yeah. But it's all right. I'll let you have it.
Nah, because when you're good, that's when we talk about when you're bad. When you're bad, nobody talks about it. You're just fucking terrible.
Yeah, you're a cultural unmentionable.
So you should be proud that when you lose to a good team, we talk shit. Like, you should be proud.
Yeah. I think it's fair.
Cat Donnie. I don't know. I
Like
mean,
Donovan is a deeper offensive bag,
oh
I would
yeah.
say, than Karl Anthony Towns. He's an active defender.
That's
I
not
think
where I thought.
honestly,
It's not where I thought you were going when you said active. Keep going. Keep going.
what the fuck do you think I was gonna say when I said active? What are
Nothing.
you
Keep
on?
going. Keep going.
I'm going Donovan Mitchell.
Don't listen
All
to me.
right.
Because he's a good
Going
shooter.
Donovan Mitchell.
Because he's a good shooter.
Yeah, I think he can poke the ball out of Karl Anthony Towns enough times. He's an active, aggressive enough defender. What do you think I'm gonna say when I say active? I'm so confused at what you think is gonna come after active.
Keep going. Keep going. Nah, bro. I'm just saying. Some might say when he shoots, he gets active.
All right, bro. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm so confused at what you're thinking is so funny. Kevin Durant, Luka Doncic.
Luka, bro.
Honestly, I might.
You gotta disqualify
might-
me at this point. I can't pick anymore. I'm biased as fuck.
Yeah, I think it's KD, bro. I honestly think.
Ah,
I think Kevin Durant, like as much as we were saying, like it seems like he's kind of checked out, like not the same or something. Like
What?
it has the same skills.
well, listen. If he was the only player on Phoenix and every other team only had one player, they'd probably be a top 3 seed. So
Yeah, I just kind of go. I think Kevin Durant can win this.
this matchup.
I think he gets Luka in this one, where it's just he's
I
a
mean,
better defender. I think they have a very similar level of offensive capability, but
he's a better
I think
defender.
that,
And he's not 270.
right, of course, yeah. Luka's fat, bro. Don't you know? Shouldn't even be in the league. He's so fucking fat. My God, how does he even walk?
Damn.
Guy's in a fucking Walmart scooter. It's crazy.
Giannis and Donnie. This isn't gonna. It's
Yeah. And honestly, I like this. This is a nice final.
they better hope Giannis doesn't sign up for this.
Yeah, because honestly, bro, I mean, let's call it how it is. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Like, bro. The
Yeah.
only reason Giannis isn't a fucking 5-time champion is because he has a team.
Yeah, honestly, I think I'm glad you just said it right there. So here we go. This is what we're saying is the tournament. Giannis wins.
Like, nah, literally, it's insane. Like, the Milwaukee Bucks, I can't say wasting his career because obviously he's got a chip. But like, albeit they didn't really do it for him. He did it for them. Like, you know, some teams usually help their players get chips, and he helped the team get a chip. Like, but like the fact that he doesn't have more. Like, I honestly thought they'd be like perennially in that championship game after that season. But then they fired their coach plus 20 games 500 and
They fired their coach because his brother died and he was out of it for a series.
Hold on, that's Mike?
Yeah.
Oh shit! So that okay? Yeah, I was
talking about
the next guy. The next guy they shouldn't have fired either. But
but during that series, his brother dies.
And Bud is a good coach. Like, he's a well-respected around the league coach.
Yeah, very weird that they did that. I still can't figure out why they fired him.
I mean, shit, I still can't believe they fired Jason Kidd.
My guess for them firing him is just that that Giannis must have asked for it. Otherwise, I can't imagine why they would do it.
I'm telling you, Giannis deep down, like. He plays this like this front like he's he's not making moves. He's not out here trying to like he's what I'm saying, but deep down he's plotting. Like at least I agree. I'm like, I don't hate Giannis at all, but like at least like LeBron is like real. Like, he's like, yeah, you're getting 1 year, and if you don't do what I want, I'm leaving. This nigga Giannis is like I want to believe it. I want to be here forever, and then he's going in the back room like, yo, if y'all niggas don't do this.
Yeah, but it would be great if I could play for New York. That would be very, I mean, every NBA player wants to play for New York. You're like, what are you talking about, man? Like, yeah. I mean, I love it. I love Giannis flirting with the idea of coming to New
Bro,
York. I love it.
If Giannis went to New York, I might be a Knicks fan secondary.
I would be so hyped. That would be amazing.
Nah, right
Like,
now,
shout out
Jazz.
Leon Rose for turning the New York Knicks into a exciting place to go again.
Yeah,
Hero.
James Dolan almost ruined it.
Yeah.
Almost
Fuck that
ruined
guy.
it. But anyway, we have a winner. We have our winner. Giannis, KD, 1-on-1, 2026. He should enter a dunk contest, too. That'd be fire. That'd
I'm
be
on
fire.
standby. Oh, now I'm back.
Nah, bro,
Okay.
you've been here. You've been here,
I
bro.
was on standby just for a moment.
I would never do that to you.
I can see it.
I would never do that to you. I promise.
You sound like
Promise.
Giannis right now.
I promise.
I promise.
I love to play New York.
I would love. Anybody would like to play New York.
You know, playing with LeBron wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, I think it would be cool. I do love the city of Miami.
I like Hookah Luka.
Hey, I like Luka.
Oh, God. The best international player in the league. Anyway, neither here nor there, guys. We're going to wrap up. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Couch Coach the Podcast, featuring an all-star staff of the best to never do it. Remember, without a couch, you're just a coach. Without a coach, it's just a couch. But with both, you're one of us. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you guys have some shit to say, leave a comment. It's Johnny, it's Kuji, your favorite couch coaches. Till next week.
You're a couch.
I'm a coach.
Peace.
He's a coach.
I'm a couch. He's a couch.
Something like that. Peace.
I don't know.